Welcome to the Ultimate Fancast, where fans are the star of the show. Each week we explore the epic co-created Battle Bunnies franchise from legendary artist Frank and LaNatra and the team at Junkbox Studios. Ultimate fans join BBS, Lord L, and Brian as they dive deep into the extraordinary world of the Battle Bunnies. Plus, we'll be your guides and take you backstage with the creators and actors who are captivating family audiences worldwide. Are you ready to meet this week's Ultimate Fan? It's time to fan up and enjoy the show.
Welcome back, everybody, for another installment of the Ultimate Fancast. An Ultimate Fan we have behind backstage right now. He's not shy to talk over you on the round table, and he's also not shy to, chat you after 2.3 seconds. He is one of our fearless leaders. He is mad. He is Knarf the Mad. Frank LaNatra himself. Welcome to the
Yes. Welcome to the cast.
Welcome.
Thank you, guys. That was funny, man. That was funny.
It's honestly, yeah, my man.
You get a full 3 Mississippi before you get a good talk.
Is the 2.3 seconds? Is that the good talk?
That's probably the good talk.
That's the good talk. Good talk.
Yeah, usually sometimes I'll cut it short, but I try to give an official 3 Mississippi before I good talk you.
The time it takes you, you've already heard the talk. So I think it's there needs to be some quicker buttons. So if anyone's listening out there to unmute, we need it to be quicker. Otherwise, Frank's going to good chat.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you guys for having me. I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, we're so happy to have you. I mean, obviously, we're not here without you or Krista. I mean, it's like, and obviously John and Mike, but you're kind of a big deal.
We wouldn't be here without you guys. That's the truth.
Well, that's true. Yeah, right?
Now you wouldn't be because of you guys. We started it, but you guys are the fire that keeps us all burning, man. I can't tell you how grateful we are for all of you. Say it every time. Everybody always thanks us, but we thank you guys.
We just love, like, it's mutual love, like, or what would you call it? Like mutual admiration. Like, we love what you do. You love we love what you do. So it's the mutual admiration society.
And that's what makes for wonderful things, right? When everybody is so truly grateful and appreciative of what each other brings to the table. And that's where great things come from, I believe.
Well, speaking of great things, like I know not everybody that's watching these shows know like the history and like how this like all got started. Like, when did the Battle Bunnies become a glimmer, like a vision in your head that you had to just get it out?
Well, you see, back in the first grade, no, I'm just kidding.
That was a close one.
I feel like that's the chunk.
I can tell you exactly the day it started. It was November 27th of 2019, and it was all because I got a call. I got a text from an old client of mine who asked me if I knew anything about NFTs and that my art would be perfect for all of this. And and he was just a fan of my artwork for years. I tattooed him a bunch, and he was like, "You really need to get your art in NFTs." And I was like, "Look, I heard of them. I really don't know what it is, and I don't have much time, outside of my tattooing career and shops and all of that stuff." So, but I said, "Look, let's jump on a call and we'll talk." And that's kind of where it all started. It was like a 4-hour conversation of him trying to explain to me what NFTs were, and it would go through this long thing, and I'd be okay after about an hour. Okay. So it's kind of like this, and he'd be like, "No." I was like, "All right, let's try this again." And it was just this whole long thing, and eventually he made me go on to OpenSea. I'm like, OpenSea, okay, I'll go check it out. And so I'm on OpenSea, like looking at stuff, and he's walking me through Bored Ape Yacht Club. What was it? Lazy. I don't know what the other one was at the time, but there was the Crypto Punks. I don't hear you, Lord L, if you're talking to me, but it was all the big ones at the time. And we're talking almost 2 years ago. So like he's showing me all of this and he's talking about the art and all that stuff. He's like, dude, your art would kill it in this. And so I started to slowly understand. He started to explain to me about doing generative like art, like all you gotta create these traits. And that's where it all started to like, I was starting to understand and think of, okay, this is what I could do. And I started sketching right there on the iPad. I was in the office at my shop. And so I just started sketching on my iPad and thinking, oh, okay. And I've been drawing cute animals for years. That's what I always love to do. Cute animals or sometimes kids. And that's always been the subject matter of all my art. You know, first Disney, Don Bluth, Blizzard, like World of Warcraft, that all those styles of art has always been huge influence on me growing up. But really, I went through tattooing. I would tell people stories, right? That's what they always wanted. I don't want to run off on a tangent, but I'll bring it back, I promise. And a lot of times in the tattoo world, clients would come and they had sometimes tragic stories that they wanted to tell, or had memories, sad memories that they wanted to memorialize and all of that. And my whole thing was, look, we can do all of that, but why not tell the story? Like when you look at it, it makes you smile. So I was like, how can I tell these sometimes darker stories? Sometimes they're happy stories, sometimes they're happy memories, but sometimes they're, those dark memories or whatever it is they were trying to capture. When you use cute animals or you replace situations with kids, like little, kids and animals in the mix, it's almost like it becomes cute and it becomes a little more lighthearted. And it's a better way to tell sometimes very serious stories. And so for years, and I just fell in love with drawing animals and stuff over the years, so that's kind of where my art style developed. And then he hit me up and he said, this would work perfect. And so the first thing that went through my head was a bunny, because I always draw, squirrels, mice, bunnies, stuff like that. I like to really take the underdog of the animal kingdom, all the little ones that you wouldn't think, that you count and take out for the count, I guess. And that's where it started. I started put a little Viking helmet on, and I'm like, oh my God, I could do all these little Viking things. And that's really kind of where the idea was born. And then the more I started to draw these traits and the more of the phone calls I was having, then I came up with the ideas. I was like, oh my God, Valkyries would be awesome. We'll give them wings and that'll be a generative, right? And so I was really just thinking in the way of generative collections for NFTs. I wasn't sure. And then as I was drawing it, I was running through names. I don't have it. It's in one of my books in the safe, but I found it's a little notebook like this. And I was in the office, and as we were talking, I was writing notes, and I have all the notes, and I can't remember what, manic rabbits, I think I called her, something like I was writing things, and then it had just hit me. I said, Battle Bunnies. They look like Battle Bunnies. That's what we're going to do. And that became the collection. And that was the theme I went with throughout all of that. And so for the first month or two, we were just I was really in learning about the NFT world and how to create a generative collection for this. And then the Discord was slowly growing, but it was growing in the traditional style of the way NFTs work, right? By the rules you had to play by 2 years ago. And what, now at that time, my friend at the time, a client who was behind it with me, who said he would handle all the tech stuff. And then one of Krista's clients actually jumped in and built our Discord for us, because on it was New Year's Day, he hit up Krista in DM on Instagram, and he's like, Frank's art would be perfect for NFTs. And she says, well, as a matter of fact, we're actually doing one. And I was under a very different precedent when I was told about NFTs. And, the idea was, look, you create this generative collection and people are buying these and they're paying thousands and millions and you're making millions. I was like, all right, you know what? I'm in. Let's do it. I had no clue what I was getting into. I was like, but I could draw this. I could create this and I could have fun with it. And I could do whatever I want. And that was really the thing. And then as we grew a little bit and things were starting to build up, John saw one of my posts on Instagram. He hit me up. I tried to work with him years ago, which I can tell you a little about later, what me and him were doing together. And he's like, look, let's jump on a call. And I was like, okay. and we jumped on a call. I was telling them all about it. And so they decided to come in. They're like, you guys are going to need some help with this and that. We always wanted to work together, me and John and Food Fight Studios. And so he jumped in and he kind of started to explain to me, this is how we're going to be able to do what we tried to do years ago, but didn't have the means to do it. This is how we could create everything. And that's when it really started to get rolling, that it's like we could create so much more than just these NFTs and these generative bunnies. Like we could create this world now. And that's when everything kind of went into full gear. And that's when I started to write the little stories and the tales and create the lands and created King Harold and all of that. And so that kind of all was the catalyst for it. And that all happened. John came on and Food Fight came on in February. November 27th was the first phone call. And then January 1st, because it was New Year's Day that Joey built the Discord for us. So it was New Year's Eve. He had texted Krista, I guess, to say Happy New Year or whatever, and then said that about the NFTs. So then a month later, I think John and then came on right in the beginning of February. So in this 2-month process, all of this was built, being drawn, and like a lot of the bunnies you guys have behind you, those were the generative traits. And that's really where it all started. And it was just starting because it was going to be an NFT collection. And then once John came in and we had our conversation, he told me this is how we could do what we were building back 4 years ago. And that's when the world really was like, okay, we're building this world, and went into full force from there.
Yeah, like you said, though, you had a different idea of what the NFT space would be like. You came in building traditional NFT style. You feel now, I guess you've been in the limelight for a lot of years. You guys are world-renowned artists. You're absolutely amazing in your trade. But it's like coming into the NFT world fully fresh. But now look at us. Like, did you think 2 years later you'd have the relationship you would? Like, was that a vision at the start, or like how did that come about? Because it's like we at the Battle Bunnies here, we have a Discord like no other. We have a community like no other. I say that non-financially, and I'm sure there is some other amazing projects, and we've got a bunch in our round table. But like the bunnies themselves are like nothing else. Like it's like you said, it's a family we've created. There's so many things involved. Like, did you see this happening, and how has that been for you?
No, okay. Look, the truth is, no, I had no idea, right? Because we didn't know. I thought it was one thing. We were under the precedent of that this is what NFTs are and this is what we're doing. So like we didn't know. We didn't even know that you needed a community to sell these things, right? I was kind of like, I was misled in a lot of ways, Kenny. I thought this was going to be an easy thing. And then and so did John and stuff, when getting into it and realized, okay, we're going to do this, but it just, the people who were the professionals and the experts in the NFT world that were part of our team at the time that led us into all this, right? We were under a different idea, and then John, Mike came on, and we started realizing, no, it's not going to work this way. This is not. No, we got to do this. But then when we realized, and when John realized, okay, this is how we can do these things, and this is the opportunity, then that's kind of when my mind exploded. But then we also realized we need a community. You need a community. You have to have a community in the NFT space. And I was like, oh, I didn't know that was a part of this. Okay. And so we just, and at the time, one of the people who were on the team had bought Discord members. This was in the early days, in the first couple of months, because you needed numbers to sell NFTs for investors and this, right? Like all this stuff. And we're like, okay, do what you got to do. I don't know. But then after Fruit Fight came on and they were fully in and we were going to do this, we wound up, that's where a lot of, it was really came when we disconnected and parted, and from the old school of the NFTs and from who me and Krista were and who John and Mike is and all of that. And we realized, look, if we're going to do this, we're going to do this genuine. We don't want to, we're going to just do it slowly. The way we've built our shops, the way we built our businesses in the past, the way we built our connections with our clients. The reason we started this was because of clients that we worked with over years ago. And, we have those relationships. And so that's how we're going to do it. We're going to do it this way. And I think that's a big reason why the community is the way it is. We want to get to know it. We don't know how to do it any other way,
Yeah, it's a slow build versus the 10,000 the 10,000 generative
Mhm.
NFTs that, a lot of people are just trying to, well, I'm not saying generalizing it, but in a lot of those collections that you're talking about around that time, it was like, get a 10,000 collection and a bunch of people will come in, they'll flip, they'll try to make some money, get your art out there, make millions of dollars and and then just go away. Like,
Yeah, there's no
or
plan B
start
after that.
another one. Yeah, there was no plan B. It was just like, mint, make money, leave. And that, I'm so glad you guys didn't do that. Like, I'm so glad that this isn't that type of project. Like, it's about building the community first.
Yeah.
And then like that, I mean, because that, like, you guys probably don't know this, like, because you're not marketers and living in like the marketing world that BBS and I live in on a daily basis, but everything is moving to audience first. Like, the people that are
Community,
successful
audience first,
are the people that are trying to solve a problem for their audience through entertainment or, whatever it might be. But when they focus on the audience's needs, they're successful. It may not be, it may be that 10-year overnight success type of success, but eventually when you do that and you focus and build the base, it tends to work out better than the people that are just trying to flip and make a quick buck. And I'm so glad you guys didn't do that.
Yeah, you'll see that with larger companies too. You'll see larger companies out and there'll be some kind of a news story that they have done something. I'm not going to name the large companies that do this, but think very large companies. And then what you see is that they go into overdrive and they just send out messaging to their community, to their employees. They get everybody on board and then they reshape the whole narrative, right? So a lot of companies they're backtracking to that. Whereas I feel like with the Battle Bunnies, you've started with that. And that's the difference. Like, there's a great core there of folks.
Well, it's like you said, is when you first came into this space, you thought it was like that. You thought NFTs sold themselves. We thought we're all going to be millionaires. That was me. I came into this NFT around the same time as you, maybe a little bit after. And that was my thought too. That you got NFTs, but you're going to be loaded. And when we dropped our first collection, crypto it was probably the worst time for crypto in general. We had a massive plummet, and after the bunnies, we didn't. I told you guys then because you didn't get just turned away by them. You didn't run away. You continued like the first roadmap was totally different to where we are now because we adapted, and it's crazy to hear it from you personally. Is how you didn't know what you were getting into, but you legit hit the ground running and you found exactly what the NFT space needed, which was community, which was that camaraderie, which was listening to us. Hence CG coming in, hence the novel coming in from all the people in the community. It's like we needed the bunnies just as much as the bunnies needed us. That's what the space needed, and being a part of it from day one, I've got to see a lot of this, and we had plans of.
Dave, you were there from the very beginning, man.
There wasn't like we were doing like a 5,000 collection at the start, and where we were going for it. And when all these other projects were crashing, non-financial, all these other projects were going away, taking whatever minted they got out, we didn't. No way. The bunnies got their heads together. They sat in a little round table and they worked out what we were going to do. And look at us now. 2 years later, we're stronger than we've ever been. Community, financially, everything. Like it's everything that you.
I'm going to say, because the truth of it, when we got into this, we had no clue about the NFT space, right? When John and Mike came in to help us, they had no clue about the NFT space, really. Like, everybody heard about it, knows a little, but, being in it, like, none of us really knew. But we had so-called experts who were into NFTs, but any so-called experts, but, anybody that claims to know how everything's like, and so we learned as we went, but at the end of the day, when you're being like you're told, "Oh, if you don't do it this way, it's going to fail. This is how it works. This is how it's got to be done." And it's like, yeah, but we don't do business like that, man. That's not how we did things, And after a while, after the Spartan Mint, we had to reconvene, and we kind of parted ways with some, and really came down to then just me, Krista, Sean, and Mike, and Food Fight. We said we're just going to do this our way because none of that works for us. It just doesn't work. It's not who we are as people. It's not what we want to do. And so to give you an idea of like when I keep saying what we want to do, because I'm going to rewind a little, but when you talked about that 10-year overnight success, that was my tattoo career, right? I was tattooing 15 years before my tattoo career broke, and everybody swore, like nobody knew who I was. And everybody's like, who's this Frank LaNatra? Who's this guy that won last night? Like, because it all started because I won a tattoo of the day at a really big prestigious convention up in Colorado, and nobody had heard of me and nobody knew who I was. So, and then all of a sudden I became this big overnight hit, but so nobody realized I was tattooing 15 years before that happened for me, So, but outside of that, I'll rewind when I say what me, and Sean were trying to do. I think it was 2017. Maybe I'll pull it up after and show you. We got together because Sean was always a fan of my art, and I tattooed him years ago. And we became friends, and we knew each other, and he would always collect my art for his kids' rooms and stuff like that, my prints and all of that. And he hit me up shortly after he had started Parody Tees and Food Fight with the animation stuff. He's like, hey, can I use some of your art? I'll make some little animations for you. How my guys do it. And it started from there. And then I was like, dude, look, I have this great idea for something I've been working on for a long time. And we talked about it. And the project was called Never Dead. It originally started as the Never Dead Pets, which I started back when I was in school doing all the artwork for and package design. But I always wanted to create my own worlds, right? And so when we finally talked, I was like, look, dude, we have this whole thing called Never Dead. Here's the story. Here's the world. It's these 4 kids, right? This is before Stranger Things, mind you. It's such a Stranger Things feel. And it's so funny because I think it was 2016 or 2017. The original idea was born back when I was in school before I graduated. It was 2011. So we had the characters, I had everything all put together, and we started working with John on it and doing this. And I even met with him and Greg Larson in a Starbucks, which Greg Larson, obviously the one who wrote, The Unlikely Spartan with us. And I had met with them back in the Starbucks back in the day. There you go. To talk about writing. Everybody's got theirs. Mine's in the office. About writing Never Dead and creating that world with us. So that was always what we wanted to do. And then we tried to do it, but it was trying to go the traditional route through animation, raise money, like do all of that. And it was tough. And then COVID happened. And so everything kind of got put on hiatus. And then shortly after COVID was, what was it now? Oh, wait a minute. November 2021. It wasn't 2019 when we started because we're in 2023. So November 2021 is when the Battle Bunnies started. Right. So it was shortly after all of that. That's when we started. And he's like, this is what we were trying to do. Let's do this. We can do this now. And that's when it's like, okay, now we can create a world and it's all going to be based around the Battle Bunnies. And that's when we realized with the community, with everybody, with the NFTs, with all of this stuff, this is how we could continuously build and finance and create this world and all the things we ever wanted to do. But I was thinking of merch and toys and all of that since back in the day when I was in school, in animation school with Krista. Like I was doing it myself as the Art of LaNatra, which was my own company and my own thing that I traveled to tattoo conventions with. I made my own merch. A lot of it we're making now for the Battle Bunnies, but I was doing it with my own art. So this was always a big dream of mine. And now seeing this come to life like this, and seeing that people actually love it, right? The people at the tattoo conventions love it because they were a fan of me as tattoo art. Exactly. But to see that you take it out into the real world outside of a tattoo industry where everybody knows your name, kind of like Cheers, right? And everybody's like just fans you from that small world. You realize on the bigger world, there's so many people who just truly love it and want it and want to be a part of this world. And now I still can't believe it. Me and Krista still, when we were putting together all the merch in the Battle Bunnies room back there, putting together the Seither Chronicles and putting all the keychains into the bags with the card backings, popping the pins through the cards. And we're like, this is like the Metallica garage band days, right? We're literally creating everything by hand. We're putting this together for everybody. I'm signing all the bookmarks to go in the books, signing all the canvas prints, putting everything in the little bags. We literally rolled up all the Seither Chronicles play mats today and put them in the mat bags for everybody. Like, it's like, that's, it's just hard, but that's what it feels like. It's like, this is how you build something amazing, like from the ground up. And that's what it was about.
Eventually, you won't be able to do that. You won't be able to be the shipping office for all the cool stuff.
I'm not here for too long. Yeah. Goodness.
I said that to her too.
You have about 6 months until this TCG has a warehouse and large distributors and employees. They're doing that all for you guys, because the TCG, like, it's the community built TCG around your art is going to blow up. Like,
dude, it is beautiful. Wait till you hold these cards.
These thick cards that you were showing us in that video. I mean, oh my gosh.
It's amazing. And that's what I said. And it's funny. I said to Krista while we were doing all of this, I said, one day we won't be around doing this, and so everybody that's getting these now, we're making it for them. We're doing it for them. And so, like, I feel like it's special in that way, because it's all of us together, but at the same time, you guys know that we're shipping it out to you. We packed it up for you. Like, one day that won't happen that way. And we know that. But I feel like it makes things special.
They're going to have your fingerprints on that collector's edition book that I bought.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, and not only will it have the signature in the front page with that cool card. I actually gave my mom my collector's edition book. You don't see it behind me anymore because my mom's a book collector. Yeah. And like, I ordered her another one. And then she came and I saw her and she's like, "What's that?" I was like, "Oh, Mom, you need to see this." And she's like, "Oh my gosh." She's like, "What's this?" And I was like, "It's a first edition. It's signed by the artist. Every book has unique signatures. Like, it's got all this stuff." And she's like, "I want it." I was like, "Here, Mom, you can take my collector edition." I was like, "I'll get one." I'd already ordered yours before, like, you guys started moving and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm gonna get another one. It's coming. I'm not worried about that. But she took my only one. She took my one that I had here at the house.
We'll have them in Richmond.
Yeah. That's
everything that you're gonna get. We're just gonna. Can we bring that? Because
yeah. Just bring everything. Yeah, just bring everything. Like, that's the fun thing about Richmond is we come home with goodies.
Yeah, we got a lot of goodies. This is still so surreal, man. All of it, all of you. Like, everything is. It's every day I wake up and I couldn't be more grateful. Like, that this is my life now. Yeah. We left, we moved so we could make this our full life. And I mean, sometimes
that's all in. You guys are all in.
Like, we sold our house to go all in.
You guys are all in, which I love. Yeah. And I told John when I met him, like, we'd met each other at 2 conferences over the last couple of years. And the first time he talked to me about what he was doing with the Battle Bunnies, it just went right over my head. I think this would have been May of 2022. So right after you would have launched the Series 1.
And the book came out May too.
Yeah, and the book. And he was at this Creator Economy Expo that I spoke at, like, and we just kind of, we linked up by, I call it serendipity. And then I didn't do anything with the information that he told me on this project that he was working at, because I just didn't understand it. Yeah. And then I seen him the next year and he came and found me again. And he's like, "Hey, him and Mike, I guess, showed up for the last day of the conference because they had other things." And he's like, "Did we lose Luke?"
Yep.
Oh boy.
Oh, it was May of 2022. The book wasn't out yet. The book came out May 2023.
23. Yeah, this year.
Right.
So 2022, I think you'd already done, like, March was when you launched the Genesis.
Yep.
And then you would I have still just been in the Spartans at that point?
No, April 16th or 21st was the Series 1 collection.
Series 1. Okay, so that's when you started dropping the Battle Bunnies.
Yeah, the other 5 classes essentially.
Yeah, the additional classes. Man, I would have loved to have been there. I would have loved to have minted those when they were minting, but it all works out the way it's supposed to work out because like he shows up. I don't think Lord L. I can add him to the stage, but he's not there. We can add all this too. So let's just take him out until I see him in the green room.
Is this a regular thing for him?
It is. Yeah. That's why we give him a hard time. He's
he
Twitter.
really tries.
And that's what's going to happen when his trading card comes out with his character with Lord L. There's not going to be any bunny on it. It's just going to be in the background. That's what I think it's going to be.
Is his nickname going to be Glitch? I think his bunny should
Battle
be
Bunny
Glitch.
disappear on the opposite side. Makes the bunny on your side disappear. Like he comes out. And
he's
fine,
back.
Someone else on your
There he is. There's Glitch. Hey, Glitch, how's it going?
No, it said something about my recording had an error, so I was like, "Oh man, I better fix this up." And then,
I wouldn't worry about that. Like, yeah, I wouldn't worry about that.
You sound better. That's good.
I said your trading card when it comes out, when we put out the show deck, you're not going to have any bunny in it.
That'd be sick.
It's going to be background.
He's just going to have traits.
Yeah, and the background's going to be a cliff. That's it. You're just going to see a cliff, and then the other half of the cliff. That's going to be his thing.
Well, whenever I do finally get my custom, that's what it'll probably have to be then. Something about a cliff, someone going off a cliff or something, like Twitter picker.
You know what I'll do? I'll just have the edge of the cliff and little bunny fingers. That's all you'll see from behind. Just little bunny fingers in the color of the day.
You couldn't use the custom for just bunny fingers. I mean, come on. If you're going to do a custom, you got to do like a custom.
I was just trying
to Frank, that is the ultimate goal for these 3 ultimate fans that you have on here is to have you draw something like that's from the mind of Frank LaNatra just for us. And I hope that Luke doesn't pick fingers.
But I'll be happy regardless. No, I wouldn't. I'd still be honored. I'll be like, hell yeah. But you're right. I don't know what I'd do.
Like that's serious cojones to be like, yeah, I just need hands. Like this just give me some hands. Like,
not even the hands. You would just need a little fingertips on the edge of the cliff. That's all you'd see. Little bit of fingertips. But
the Valkyrie that falls off the back of that Valkyrie like background, right? Like and hold it onto the rock.
That's it. That's all he gets. But I already told BBS. I forgot who said it first, and I was like, "That is brilliant." But Grace needs her own ship, and it needs to be called the Blackbird Spider. Because I was like
every time you said that in the disco, that's I love that. Yeah.
Yeah, and I can just picture the ship design, like with the I guess the front and the spider legs that wrap around the front to create the ship. So like it just hit me when I was thinking about it. I was like, that would just make for an awesome pirate ship. And
that would be like her Kraken. So Grace is nonverbal. She doesn't speak. She just uses commands with her hands. And if she does have to speak, it's almost like a mermaid's, like everybody on the ship would hear her, even though she's just speaking softly. Everybody hears her, and they're like, "Uh-oh!" So it's like this. It's a very, it's an interesting, and there's more to her than that. But like the biggest thing is that she's nonverbal. So like the talking to the spiders could work. Like it could be like her network. It could be really cool.
Yeah, you got that form. Right? I think you did.
Yep.
I knew you read quite a bit about her.
Yeah, I threw that in there. I gave it to John.
Yeah, I mean, she's become quite famous in the Battle Bunnies world. Everybody knows Grace. Everybody knows the PFB.
Disco gives me so much flack about that. He's like, "Oh, I see her all the time. Can you stop it?"
She's in Smots. She's the special in Smots community. That's awesome.
Smots.
I'll be right back. I'm gonna go get something.
Oh,
just for you.
I think I know what he's gonna go get. I bet he's got a deck of TCG cards. Or one of the hollow heroes. Is she a hollow hero?
Well, he just disappeared into the wall, so and who knows what he's going to get.
How did you do that? Only Knarf the Mad.
He didn't disappear because Knarf the Mad is still on screen.
That's true.
That is true.
He's made what's
I see
the dog's
that
name?
artwork, and I think there's like a clue in there that's like it would be like him to just throw something out there that's like in our face.
I picked up on a clue that you dropped a few days ago before you went on vacation.
Really? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you were talking about doing some translation.
I'm back.
I'd love to hear.
Oh yeah. So did you also go down that rabbit hole?
I started down that rabbit hole, but I have not been able to finish that. But I have some ideas of what I think's happening.
It was like broken code. For me.
Yeah, I mean, like
I think
there's no.
Together.
I mean, there's no like it can't be coincidence that Krista's dark egg name is the dark artist. Like that's the translation for like one of her dark eggs is dark artist in Japanese. Like and drywall got drywall. Like
yeah, drywall didn't realize that first too. Yeah, he said like, what are the odds? They were like, really good, man.
They're really good odds.
They're really good odds. Yeah, we were just before you left, Frank. We were talking about the names and how we've gone down that rabbit hole of like really looking at even
BBS is translating them all.
John works so hard on those, man. To some, like, and there's I'm going to tell you right now, for those there's Easter eggs hidden in the names. So if you could figure out how it ties to certain things, you might figure out something that's coming and how it's going to tie to. But then the ones that some are specifically named, for people who are, like drywall, all of you guys, like John really does try to cater to and create crafty names for some more personalized things as well.
Yeah, I translated mine and they weren't good names. So John must be saying something like, like the names of the ones that I have so far are like awful rain and like terrible storm and
what he did? Funny guy. He loves to make fun because for some reason it just irks him or drives him crazy. The way I say yesterday, and I don't know why it bugs him so much, but he can't stand it. And it's probably because he's just jealous because I got a New York accent and he doesn't.
He doesn't.
But he named my friggin' dark dragon yesterday.
Oh man.
Yeah, I translated the little characters and I was like, oh, son of. Which is funny though, so I'll leave it. But that's its name. Is yesterday.
That's nice. Yeah, that's nice. I'm hoping that he just didn't. He's not putting it to me yet with those names. Maybe the future ones that get revealed and have names will be, like Cool Stout or
There was one with a spider in it, and I immediately went right to the ticket, and I said, I need to know who owns this right now. Like, please tell me. No rush. Not a big deal. I'm just going to sit here and wait for you guys.
BBS, if you came to me, I could tell you who owns, like, almost everything. Like,
well, it's that, like, ledger number, like, so I don't know, like, if it's a...
I have a system for backing into who's the owner. So, like, yeah. I do some
eventually find out, but they're not going to. It's a Series 2 egg. They're not going to be. Oh yeah, I'll trade you that. It's not going to happen.
Yeah. Hey, you never know. If it's one of my kids, I'll trade it. Like I'll trade it to you.
I think it was like Red Spider or something. I was like, I need that.
Well, so I know you got like spreadsheets and all of that stuff, and I was gonna say, that's one thing I think for us as founders that's pretty unique about me and Krista is that we know pretty much every damn near wallet that holds all our bunnies, and we know pretty much who owns what. And like we are so involved in everybody that we keep. Plus, we just love all our stuff so much that we keep track to make sure that everything has a good home, and we know who's got one, so we know when somebody's stuff went missing, or it's just we've just become so familiar with everybody and everybody's wallet and every bunny that's out there that we just. Now, not to the extent that you have, Mr. Spreadsheet, but
Well, I have an ulterior motive. Like at some point, I want to create the ultimate fan guide.
God,
So,
that's awesome.
like that tells the story that takes people that join now back through things like in a guide. You know, you have like those Pokemon guides. You have, Yu-Gi-Oh guides. You have like guides for other things in this world. And I was like, why couldn't we create a guide for the Battle Bunnies at some point that kind of like my kids have these Lego guides that are like coffee table books.
Yeah.
I just spend hours and hours looking through them. I do it with Marvel and DC books like that. Like just looking at the characters. I was like, eventually we're going to have that. I was like,
Yeah.
We could put that together and give that to the community. I was like, so I need the spreadsheets to kind of help
I love it.
an understanding of it. So
Speaking of tables and coffee tables, that's on the table because I've talked about it from the beginning. I want to make the Art of the Battle Bunnies, like the first book, and we'll do them in chapters. So the Art of Battle Bunnies, chapter 1, it'll be like the way Pixar does the Art of Nemo finding. I own all those books, right? So I've been buying those for years. So that's one of the things I want to start working on next is chapter 1 would be the Art of the Battle Bunnies. Chapter 1 would be all the art leading up to now, the environment. So that way you could have it in a coffee table book, and it's just the Art of book. I have the Art of Overwatch, the video game. I have the Art of World of Warcraft books. I love them, and I think people love them. Just like you said, so I want to do that.
Yeah, I would totally have that on the coffee table, like for friends and family that visit to see, like just flip through the pages and just see all the art. And
let me see, how well can you see this? No, because it's in a plastic bag.
You have to get close to the camera. Yeah, you have to get close to the camera. That'll stop.
Let me take it out of the plastic bag. All right. So this is exclusive at Richmond. You guys will see because I only have a few of them going, but these are the newest, some of the newest canvas prints.
Oh man! Those are so beautiful.
I don't even know where I'm holding it. Look at this is a real sneak peek. You can't even. There she is.
Yeah. The background, though, like that's not a background we've seen, Frank.
Yeah. So you just got the first.
That's not a background we've seen yet.
Yeah. All right. I'm doing a terrible job at this. Yep, that is not. So
that
people will get the
that is perfect. It matches that mythic. Like that's one of the mythic or not mythic, legendary. Is that a legendary dark dragon?
No, you know why it's not a legendary? Because the land, so the color palette is technically of that land, but the land, that is the ground stomper, which has hatched recently, right? That's the dark ground stomper, and the dark ground stomper is from the Mystic Mer eggs. And that is not a Mystic Mer background. So in order for that to be a legendary, it would have to be on a Mystic Mer background from the Mystic Mer egg and the Mystic Mer breed. But it's technically not the Mystic Mer lands because what you guys are witnessing are the new lands of the Risu Empire. I'll show you one more. This one you guys are all familiar with.
It's Christmas! Guys, it's Christmas!
Familiar with the artwork, but they did turn out
early.
such beautiful canvas prints.
Ooh. Oh no, that's Cornelius.
Cornelius.
Cornelius
Wow.
A. Snowflipper. I wish you could get a better, but dude, these came out so beautiful on canvas. There we go.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, all your
that's a
canvases
great
are
print.
awesome.
Yeah. And so
mine and BBSs are kind of hack jobs, except for the ones that I got from you guys or from the collection.
You got the Samurai General.
That's good.
Yeah, I got the Samurai General, and then I have I have also up there. I have a Hell.
Got a name.
Oh yes, that one came from us. The canvas. I love that you put your Dark Dragon on there.
Yeah, I got the logo, which I hope is okay. And then the
Even if
name.
you're not selling it, I think it's okay.
It is a her. I knew it was a her. I saw it from the thing. She is beautiful. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to show you.
It translates to "it's dark."
It's all right. So I got one of these in my hands.
Ooh.
Right? This is the one we opened in the fascinating. But I don't. Were you there for the box opening, BBS?
I was, yeah. I did
So
see some of it, yeah.
Did you get to see Grace? Because that's really what I ran into you, because we were talking about Grace. Did you see Grace?
I did see it, yeah, but I'm not going to say no to you showing it right now.
To a second showing.
Just
with
because
the purple glitter. What do you call the purple glitter wrap? Is that
gilding?
Gilding. The purple gilding is
gilding or gilding. No, gilding. It's not gilding.
It's fantastic.
Such a nice touch. Such a nice
touch.
Yeah.
But it really is such a beautiful deck. So this is our little open test deck that people. Let me find Grace in here for you. We do have Doug, the card everybody hates.
Why does everybody hate Doug?
Because he is such a brutal card to play against.
Oh, the toxic banana.
Yes. And so when Doug gets played, there she is. Essentially with Doug, as many deckhands as you have in play with Doug, every round you could drain that many cards from your players, your opponent's Grimoire. So, which means if you got 4 deckhands or up to 5 deckhands with Doug, all of a sudden you're draining 4 to 5 cards right off the top of the discard pile every turn. And that card pissed Aaron off. So he hates Doug's card. He hates it so much.
You're taking me for
rage quit.
Rage quit.
Here she is.
There she is.
She came out so good. Yeah. Love that.
And she's she gets a lot of play. She actually gets, you'll see like 2 Graces on the board at one time because of, she brings +2 Seither to adjacent pirates. So by doing that, you'll see people drop 2 Graces at the same time to beef up the other pirates on both sides of her. So
that's
definitely sees a lot of play.
What she would have liked, I think.
That's right. Boosting. It's
a silent killer.
Boosting up your mates, and Pirate Mothy sees a lot of play too.
Yeah, I got her here. She was one of the first ones that I did, and the wings wrap around.
Yep.
Grace is a silent killer.
Yeah,
she is a beauty.
We're talking a lot about the art, but it made me think, like, as you were talking, like, I'm really curious, and I think maybe the Fluffle is curious about who were your influences, as an artist. Like who shaped Frank? What artist did you look at and go, yeah, I really like how that person is drawing their characters, or I really like this. Like for me, I have a couple of things that I pulled from different artists, but really would love to hear from you. Like, I've heard a couple of artists from other members.
There is a ton over the years. So, I mean, it's a long list, but one of the biggest will always be Disney, right? That started for me as a kid, and Don Bluth, because those were the animations I grew up. But Don Bluth has always been a little more edgier for me than Disney, and I feel like that's molded my style a little more, that edgier look to things. There's also been a lot of comic book artists. One of the biggest ones for me as a kid was Todd McFarlane. So, I mean, McFarlane changed the game of comic books, and I just remember when he was doing, he did those last Spider-Man issues and then created Spawn, and he broke boundaries with Spawn, right? And he literally broke boundaries and borders within the comic book pages, and that was always a huge inspiration for me on how I draw things and angles I do things at. And so it's kind of been like the evolution of things. If you look at my signature, obviously it's definitely evolved over the years. On my signature actually spawns from the way McFarlane's signature was. And as a kid, because I would copy the comics there. So, right, if you look at, and you look at McFarlane, he had the big N, the little C, and then he had the long F with the little A, and then all the little letters, and then the long E at the end. And so I wrote LaNatra like McFarlane when I was a kid. And then over the years, it just evolved more and more, where I have now the big L, the little A, and then it was just a derivative. So you can see like there's so many influences and so many different things that I do. But one of the biggest now that I really study a lot of, there's Pixar. I love Pixar. Like, there's so many artists behind Pixar, right? But just the films and the art and the environments and the color palettes of Pixar, huge inspiration. But overall, I'm going to go with Blizzard games. World of Warcraft, Overwatch, Diablo. Not so much Diablo's art, but that's one of the games that Blizzard makes. But mainly World of Warcraft, and Overwatch style, the colors, the edginess. Francisco Herrera is a big influence. He's another great comic artist who also done stuff with Disney. Very sharp edged, and his character design is amazing. I could sit and list a lot of character designers and concept artists, and it's just like all of these guys that I've found over the years. But I guess in a broad way, it really came down to finding character designers that worked for Disney, worked for Pixar, did that stuff, and I would look and study their art and, just really try to capture the things they've done and see how I can add a little bit extra to my characters and my character design and styles. And same thing with concept artists who did environments for these games and animation and stuff. Was that
That's awesome.
You can see that. Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
that's great. I love that. Yeah.
Typed in Francisco Herrera because I hadn't heard his name
I'm
before.
like,
I geek out about,
I have a whole page of notes already, Frank.
And it's funny.
Yeah.
So
Keep going. Yes. And then
well, Francisco Herrera actually did right before we did the Battle Bunnies, and right when I was now starting drawing the Battle Bunnies. We hadn't released them yet, but now I was, already creating them and learning about the NFTs. Francisco Herrera, all of a sudden I saw his name attached to, he was creating Merry Mods, and he was doing it with Tom Bilyeu for Impact Theory, or whatever, and they created Merry Mods. So I actually bought a couple of the Merry Mods because I love his art so much, and those characters on Merry Mods are all Francisco Herrera's drawings and designs. But he's just awesome, dude. I have his books too, like his sketchbooks and stuff. He's just great. Joe Madureira was another great one. Back in the day, he created Battle Chasers comic books. I love this style, but it's a very Blizzard style too, where like the weapons and the armor and everything is really oversized, but then the characters are very cute and stuff like that. So I just like those kind of things. I mean, like if you look at Knarf, he's got like this oversized belt buckle, which just seems ridiculous, but I love those kind of things where, and don't look like.
Do you have any, obviously you love these artists. Have you discovered some artists that are like modeling themselves after Frank LaNatra? Like, have you seen any of that yet where they're using your style, or they have,
in the tattoo world, not in the real world, but in the tattoo world, yeah, I've seen that a lot. I mean, so much so that I literally saw recently people tagged me on Instagram of an artist in South America who took my drawing, tattooed it, and then won awards at a show with my art. And I'm like, are you kidding? You took my tattoo, you redid it on somebody. And I was like, all right, hang on. Yeah.
What do they say? It's the highest form of flattery.
Yeah, I guess so. And I am flattered. Like I do understand that. In the tattoo world, it's technically it's disrespectful to do. But I guess it's disrespectful to do anywhere. Stealing anybody's art in the real world, in the tattoo world, doesn't matter. But for them, what I did, because we would usually, years ago, we would get furious and upset because we drew these custom for clients and people would go and just steal it after we spent hours creating these unique designs and tattooing them on our clients. Other artists would just go take the artwork or the picture offline and then redo it and, make money off of it. Right. So, but then as the years went on, I learned to not get upset anymore. And I also learned that in South America and a lot of other countries where here in the United States, all these artists would get pissed off and mad and call them out and all of that, to them, because they hold you in such high regard that they felt like they were honoring you by showing you that they loved your work so much they want to do it. So I took a much more understanding approach behind that, and sometimes I would DM them on Instagram and I would say thank you, but I always recommend that you try to draw things yourself, make something special, that's as opposed to taking it. That's how you learn, by trying to create your own. And so I went at things with a different approach versus the angry approach that I took when I was younger, because I thought, well, that's, people are just taking my stuff. And then you realize they think of it differently than we do here. And so now I get it. So now I could explain it differently. Long way to say yes. People have took some of my.
Another thing that I'm curious about is like everything that I see in the world has like the best complement of colors. So I'm wondering if you could dive into that just a little bit of, like what's your inspiration for the colors that you use? Because everything that I see is like, wow, those two colors or those three colors are perfect together. And they really give it that life. Like, so the artist, like it's very like 3-dimensional, but the color really just brings it to life.
Well, thank you, BBS. Once again, I'm going to take that right back to World of Warcraft and Pixar. They are masters of color palettes. And a lot of times when I'm thinking, like the Samurai General, for example, that was just a lot of me looking through Blizzard art and looking at some of the beautiful color palettes that they do. And then I'll just be like, okay, that just fits like what I'm trying to capture. And then so I take the concept of the colors they put together, and then I make them my own and see how can I, capture that moment. But a lot of times color is about setting the mood, right? Setting the, the mood, the environments, and what you're trying to tell the viewer in that sense. So I look through all my inspirations and see what they use that captures or gives me that sense of mood, and then I really try to then recreate that. I did that with the Little Sinner. Do you remember the Little Sinner, the one I did for Hobby's project?
Yes, yeah. That was.
I got a canvas of that guy.
Yeah, and so Illidan is a character in World of Warcraft, and that was a strong color palette from Illidan, and I always loved that color palette. And it was like that's exactly what I want to capture. I wonder if I have it here. I could pull it up or send it to you. And I'll show you. I can pull stuff up on your screen, can't I?
Yeah, we can share. I was going to bring up the general while you were talking because.
Oh yeah, okay.
That
You
color
do
palette,
that.
that color palette. While you're finding that, for anybody that hasn't seen the general, like we've showed him a couple times just because we had Aaron on. But like the palette.
Yeah.
It's my favorite palette of all.
Like
if not the collab joke is the next one.
Yeah.
The collab joke is a great color palette too.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Anything with that fluorescent green that you do is amazing.
Well, you know what I could do, Brian? I could just, since you got stuff pulling up, I have your ticket. I'll just throw it in your ticket right here, and then you could just pull it up. If it's easier, since you're already sharing your screen, is that easier for you?
Let me see if I can get Discord working because it froze.
Oh, then you know what? Here, I'll just share my screen. Watch this.
Yeah, you probably I can't seem to get it to unfreeze. I don't know if there's an open window somewhere. We've had a few tech issues tonight. Let's just say that.
Watch this. Let's see. Here. There he is.
I'll bring him up. Sorry, add him to the stage. Ooh, this baby center, yeah.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite color palettes also, but you can see it's a very World of Warcraft inspired color palette.
And has a little bit of a lightsaber type device in his hands, a light whip. What would you call that?
Yeah, well, I wanted him to have a whip, but then also we all know I'm maybe a wee bit obsessed with Star Wars, just a little bit.
We're going to have a special Star Wars episode just with you where you break out the hilts and your lightsaber collection and we talk through that because I think people would love 30 minutes of you going into that.
Yeah, I have them all packed up. I have not unpacked any of that stuff yet. It's all in bins and stuff, but I will do it for you guys because I know exactly where everything is. So I will do that.
So, I figured you'd want to get it out for the house. That was one of the last things you packed up, right? Before you guys
we took down there's the display cases that I have to put back together, to do that. But then I also am not. I'll close this guy down. I am not doing that because this is not our forever home, right? I'm looking at it like we're going to be here, and I know what we just went through to pack our actual house. And so I'm like, no, we got a couple of years here, and then we're going to our forever home, right? And so that's when I'm really going to unload it all because it is a lot to pack up and break down all your collectibles and stuff. And we really moved into that last house because the last house, that was our house, right? So I had everything set up. So next time I do it, it's going to be for real, and it's going to not come back down. And so, but I do have them in the bins in their cases, so we could do a show and I'll pull them out of the cases for you guys.
Sweet.
But yeah,
Sweet.
Love that.
That's me, because if I get too comfortable here, but when you get too comfortable, then you don't push towards the next thing. So I am destined to not get too even though I love where we are and I love the house, we want to stay in North Carolina. I don't want to get too comfortable in my room and in the house and all that, because I want my forever home.
Yeah, I totally get that. We got lucky and we were able to do that last August, and you couldn't get my wife to move if you like drug her out of the house.
And that's it. We want all our big Battle Bunnies canvases and art. We want to like fully decorate the hat, and do all of that stuff. So we got plans for all of that. I really want Battle Bunnies, like a Battle Bunnies ranch, like Skywalker Ranch, but we want to have where it has a big art studio, animation studio there. Maybe it's called Keningard, and you come through the big gates of Keningard, and and that's Battle Bunnies Studios is there. It's maybe where the animations get made. The TCG team works there. I mean, look, Pixar does it, right? And so I honestly fantasize about these things all the time. It's like everybody works near each other. We got our Discord team that's headquarters, just a true Battle Bunnies headquarters that's maybe called Keningard, and I think that would be badass.
Yeah, that would be.
I think that shines right through too, Frank. Like seeing how much of a fan you are yourself of the Battle Bunnies itself is and seeing you talk about it in person, which we'll have in the past, but for everyone that's watching now that hasn't seen Frank talk about it, you can just see the passion, you can see the love, the smile from ear to ear, man. And that's why we're still here, bro. Like you love it just as much as us. You're an ultimate fan just as much as us of your own stuff, and like you said, because it's such a community driven thing. You got Krista's mind behind it, you got John's, you got Mike's, you got the community. It's like for you, it's new as well, because the community are bringing stuff for you, which excite you, and bringing new things for you. So
it's exciting for me.
Exactly, man. You being a founder, it's totally different, but it's like it's not at the same time, because you are an ultimate fan, man. Like it shows through. Like you always talk about it in Discord. Oh, we want one of them, and we want to get one of them, and when you finally do get your hands on them, you're like, yes, I finally got an unhatchable, or I finally got one of these. And because we know you never want to take it away from us, so you always give us that opportunity first. But when one gets on the floor, and that's it.
And you got a nice collection. We'll spend an episode going through your collection, and we'll play some games next time.
Okay.
Because you've got I've stalked your collection. I've seen
I have a hefty collection.
I've seen your collection. You got some sweet bunnies in that thing.
I don't let go of anything, but that's a collector's mentality, right? I've been collecting everything for years. I just don't let go of things. I've never. It's just been a thing. And those Spartans, by the way, all those I bought every single one of those. I minted the first two, and I bought every single one off the floor as soon as they dropped. So it's like even that, we didn't just get Spartans, man. We had to get in line with everybody else and get lucky enough to buy them. And I remember at that time, people, that was the buy two, sell one at a higher price, because that was the NFT, the way things work. And as soon as I saw one hit the floor, I scooped it up. And I, at that time, I didn't care. I was trying to get my own stuff, and because I'm a fan too, just like you. And I'm a fan of this show. And so I'm honored and grateful to be on the show with you guys. And I can't believe you guys are doing this, which I think is just awesome. And I'm so grateful for it. And I love it.
Well, you might actually get a NFT from us that's exclusive for your appearance on the show.
Hell yeah, I dig it.
get one of one from the Ultimate Fancast.
I think that's a great idea. For
Oh,
you.
yeah, we do too.
I
We
love
just
it.
have to get Mike to teach us how to do our own hot pops. Like we'll do the art, we'll pull it together. Like we just need to know the way to the delivery mechanism. Because between BBS Lordell and I, we could totally do that.
If Mike doesn't have the time, just ask Aaron. Aaron does all his own for Dead Poker Society and all of that. He's well versed in contracts, especially on a smaller scale. Like just to be able to do hot pops and stuff. He could walk you guys through too. I mean, Mike.
Yeah, obviously it wouldn't be called a hot pop, but it would. You know, I'm thinking it's called a tough shot, the Ultimate Fancast shot. Like so, you get a tough shot from us.
I like it.
And there's only one. There's not hundreds of editions.
Yeah, the only way you can get a tough shot is to be on the Ultimate Fancast.
You should do season ones, right? You do one for each season. So, like, if this is season 1 of the Fancast, you got a tough shot or shot for season 1, and then when you do season 2 and have guests back on or new guests on, they get. It just kind of commemorates which season. Are you guys doing them in seasons? I don't know. I just think it's cool because I feel like
we haven't discussed like that, but that's a great idea.
That's a great idea, and we have the amount of people interested to do more. We already have.
I think BBS writing it down too.
Yeah, we've been overwhelmed by the request to be on the show. And we love it. Our whole intent is to, I don't know if you know about this, but we actually want to do a fan awards that recognizes the people that are contributing inside the community. Cause that's, we're here at the Ultimate Fancast is like, we want to make the community the stars of the show. Not that you're not a superstar. I mean,
no.
Right, yeah.
You're also a fan. So you can win awards.
You're also eligible. Yeah.
Awards. Okay. We're going to call it the Binky Awards because when a bunny is joyful and excited, it does this thing called a Binky. So we want to hand out a Binky Award and do it like an Emmys once a year to recognize fans for being Ultimate fans and being great community members. So that's something we definitely want to do soon.
And I'm part of the community. Like, that's the thing. Like, I don't look at it like I'm a fan. I'm a guest on your show. I'm just as much a part of the community. We talked a little bit before we got in here too. Like, I see because everybody brings something to the table, right? Everybody does so much for all of us and for the community and for each other that we're just doing our part, but we're just as much a part of the community on the ground floor with you guys too. So, but when you said Binky, that reminds me of what's it? They call it the pacifier.
That's what it's a Binky too. Yeah, that's a Binky too. So, like, we could have some fun with that, like because parents call their kid baby things a Binky, the baby Binky. Yeah, but a Binky is actually, it is true. Like if you just Binky bunny, like you'll see like all these videos of because we have a rabbit, and her name is Piper, and she she does Binkies all the time when she's excited about stuff, where she does this like jumping up and all so I just think it was the perfect name. They got the Emmys. I don't know what an Emmy is. People probably don't know what a Binky is, but if we associate it with the Battle Bunnies and the Battle Bunnies community, like they'll totally get it. So
well, nobody knew what a Fluffle was.
I didn't.
No, and most people still don't know what a Fluffle was. Mike came up with that. Mike figured that out or found it.
It's a Canadian word. Like in Canada, they use Fluffle all the time. Like I told you guys about that Fluffle Delight that we bought for our bunny because I saw it at the feed store and I was like, wait a second, I just joined this community. They said, welcome to, Krista says like the very first thing is welcome to the Fluffle. And I'm like, what's a Fluffle? And then a week or two later, I'm seeing it at the store and I'm like, the Fluffles have always been here. They're calling me in.
But I had no idea. And at the time we were running a contest to name like the fan base or like the community, like what do we call ourselves, right? Yeah. And so people came up with all these different things. But then when Mike was like, call it a fluffle. I was like, what the hell is a fluffle? And I looked it up and I was like, oh my God, it really is. It's a group of bunnies. And I was like, how much cuter can that name get? And I was like, yes, we're a fluffle. And it's
I wish I would have been around because I would have given you names like Bun Addicts, like Bun Addicts, like your, and then the other one that how the Trekkies came up with their name, like we could call the Bunkies, like the Bun Keys, like Trekkies, like.
Well,
I'm sure you got some great names like that.
I came up with it was funny when Kristen was over with the Hop Pops thing, and she's like, but you got to collect them all to keep the roll. And that's how I came up with the Hop Pop Anonymous, because I just felt it was fun to say Hop Pop Anonymous. And I can't even say it at the time, but we do come up with some silly stuff and names like things, and like some of the community name stuff. Lindy Moon named the Mystic Mur. That was a contest there. We had one going for the Samurai General to get his name. And there have been times that people come up with names for things when we put out a contest, and at the end of the day and behind the scenes, and I'm like, yeah, no, we'll just go with this, because there's still a vision, right? There's still a vision.
Yeah, you still have a vision, right? Like there's a whole world that's taking place inside the mind of Frank LaNatra, and it has to fit into that world. Like,
and I gotta live with that forever. And there's some things that I'm just like, I can't live with it being called that forever. It's just, I don't know. Yeah. And there's even, I mean, look, everybody joins for the drinking draws, right? I don't know if, like, most of the Fluffle and everybody community knows, but during the drinking draws. But for those that don't, it's like a lot of times people will sit in their own drawer and give suggestions. They'll be like, oh, this would be really cool. And a lot of ideas and a lot of traits made it into the collection because of the community, right? So they've created a lot of traits. I drew them and added them in, but it was their idea. The Holy Hand Grenade, which became the Infinite Holy Hand Grenade, was a combination of Abysmal and I think, was it Miss Firefly and Abysmal? It was two people, or they came up with it. One, came up with the Holy Hand Grenade from Monty Python. So I said, all right, hell yeah, we're putting a Holy Hand Grenade in this collection. Started drawing it. And then the other one was like, oh, you should, because I was drawing a gem in it. They're like, you should make the gems the Infinity Stones. And I'm like, all right, that's happening. And I made them, and then we made the Infinite Holy Hand Grenade. And that was created by the community. And then there's times people give me ideas and I turn around like, yeah, no, that's not going to work. And I just move on. So I'm very honest with everybody. If I can make it happen, I will.
Is that one of the few traits inside the collection that's just a single hand? Like you have, like with the Holy Hand Grenade, they have the pin that they're pulling out and the hand grenade. But a lot of times there's like a shield and a sword. Is it one of the few things that's just a single? Like
it's the only dual wield trait in there, which is actually takes up. So if you have the whole, you can't get one without the other. So we just called it a dual wield trait. There's only 10 of them. I believe there's only 10 in the collection of the Holy Hand Grenades. But you should
gathering info. I'm gathering info for the ultimate guide. This is me interviewing you to get info for the ultimate guide.
Yes. So I believe there's only 10 Holy Hand Grenades in the whole collection because we did not want to bring one back into the Ghost Bunnies.
Yeah.
I can tell you
cool one because you holding it, or King Harold's holding it as his weapon, like the King Harold from the original or the
the series one. Yep. Yeah. And he also has the gold, the bag of gold.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think. It is King Harold that's holding the Holy Hand Grenade.
I believe you're right.
I have to go look at that now.
His beard was made for him. His beard is not in the collection. I made his beard to match the original drawing of King Harold. So that's, I think we named the trait Harold's Beard or something like that. But it's a combination of 2 or 3 traits that I put together, which was the beard, the braid beard, the full beard, and I think and the mustache, the braided mustache. I think we put all 3 of those traits, overlapped them, and I changed the tones on all of them to create that beard to make it match. Sonia too. I repainted her wings, and that's the only trait was why Sonia's wings look like that, and they don't exist anywhere else in the collection.
I was wrong. He's holding Seither. He's holding Seither in one hand and the bag of gold in the other.
Okay.
It was another character. We had a recent guest.
Is it a potion though? It's not an actual bottle of cider, right? It's a potion we put in his hand.
Let's look.
I gotta
Here,
look.
let me see if I can share.
Oh,
You
look.
tell us.
Yeah,
I'm pulling him up. Give me a second.
'cause I know we made some adjustments for the specific novel characters.
Yeah. Is
Yeah,
that
it's supposed to
cider?
have Kaik. Yes, technically
okay.
it's supposed to represent cider, but we didn't have an actual cider bottle in the collection to become the trait. So that's
Okay.
really the potion of Kaik, which only made it. They made their first appearance in the Ghost Bunnies, and only shamans got potions.
Ooh.
And the bag of gold made its appearance in the first appearance in the Ghost Bunnies as well, because only Ghost Pirates got the bag of gold. So that's the only place you'll find those in the collection.
Mm.
Very nice.
I'm
See,
like
these are
going
all
through
the
my
nuggets that we
collection right
need.
now.
But his beard doesn't exist
Hold,
anywhere.
please.
So you'll see that beard is made up. Actually, it's not. You won't find that.
It's a
anywhere.
one of one beard. It's a one of one. Yeah,
But
a
it's
one of
really
one.
just made up of 3 traits that actually exist.
Because we were talking to somebody recently that had, I know who it was. It was this one. Here, let me bring it up.
I hope I didn't run all you guys off on tangents and all of that stuff too.
Nope.
'Cause I know I tend to just do that.
We love a good
This
tangent. Ooh.
This
That's
is
the whole
the
thing.
pen, yeah.
Yeah, this is the holy hand grenade that we had a recent guest that I think it was Ronnie or somebody. This is theirs.
Our dog. Yep. That's
Yeah,
the
this is
infinite
our
holy
dog,
grail. There really is only 10 of those though. That I'm pretty sure of.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a beaut. It's a beaut.
It was
Like these are
created by-
things that like you'll never pry it out of somebody's collection. They'll be like, yeah, no.
Yep. Yeah, they're just it was created by the community. Binky has one too on his shaman. So I think that's how they worked. That's why there's 10. Because Spartans obviously didn't have them, and there was 2 that fell into each class, male and female. So you'll have a male and female in each class with the whole infinite holy hand grade, and that's how you got 10, 2 per class.
Nice. Love that you guys do that stuff. That makes it unique and interesting. And from a collector standpoint, it's not impossible, but it's also hard to get. Hard to
Not financial advice, but I want all of them.
And that's, you know what?
I was thinking the same thing.
We're collectors ourselves. And so for me, it's like, what would I want to collect and what would I want to create? And how do I create things that are rare and special? Because those are things we chase as collectors. Those are things we look for. And I know what the feeling is like to be able to have things that very few people have. It makes it special in your collection. Like I have, which now they're boxed up again, but they used to hang in my shop. But there was only 850 made of each one, and they're called, it's Dr. Seuss's taxidermy. And they're cast from the original Dr. Seuss sculptures, and an artist made them, and I found them at a gallery in Lake Tahoe. And I bought 4. There's 30 made, total 30 different ones. And I have 4 out of the 30. And each one of those are limited to 850 in the world, right? So just to know that they're so hard to find. Some of them you cannot find anymore or see, but just that to me was a collector's dream. And I hope to collect more of that collection, because they're these huge Dr. Seuss taxidermy statues and you put them on, and I would never hunt because we're obsessed with animals and all of that. But I'm like, that's what I want over my mantle one day, right? Instead of, people put like taxidermy and stuff, I want these Dr. Seuss sitting over my mantle one day. And I look for those kind of collectibles. And so I want to recreate that in the Battle Bunnies world for other collectors and fans that are like me.
Does anybody else get the feeling that when you guys get your forever home, it's going to be like Harry and the Chocolate Factory, like where you have all these different areas that are like what was it? It's not Harry and the Charlie and the Chocolate. Charlie and the Chocolate.
I didn't want to correct you, but I was going to.
No, you can correct me. Everybody knows I'm a dummy.
I like the name.
Harry. I don't know. Is that a third?
It's like Harry Potter and Charlie and chocolate.
It's saved. It's saved.
Yeah, like my brain at this age, it's starting to just like lose touch with like all the facts.
No, But yeah, that's I do want our house. Our last house was a little like that. It was very museum, and I remember because we were doing the showings, and we were sitting in the car every time people would come in to see the house. And one family came in, they had a bunch of kids with them, and we're sitting in the car, and me and Chris are like, "What the hell are they doing in there so long?" Because we have all our collectibles, all our paintings, all our artwork, everything is all. And finally, they all come out, and the mom says, "Oh, I'm so sorry." She goes, "I'm so sorry we took so long." She goes, "But it's like a museum in there. We just kept stopping and walking through everything and looking at the artwork and looking at it." And I was like, "Well, thank you." And that's what I want the next one to be like too. I just want to have this just areas that is almost like a museum of the things that we've collected through life and the things that have inspired us and fascinated us, and that others will eventually one day enjoy. We will have a Battle Bunnies Museum. That is happening.
So do you think that a non-Battle Bunnies question here? Do you think that you would re-release older art that you've done? Because I've seen some of your older art that I'm just like, wow, I wish that was out in the world. And so do you think that you could ever like circle back and say, yeah, I'll release this print or I'll do something with that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And absolutely. And I actually have some that I'm going to bring to Richmond. But I'm going to say something for you because we got to send out your TCG. I got you. And I always think to myself when I look back, and I always look and say, well, that's my older work. And for me, I look at my newer work and I'm like, well, my newer work is so much better, right? Like I've grown as an artist over these years, so why would anybody want that? So I never think about it that way. But if you guys really will enjoy that and want that, because John always says that to me, he's like, what is wrong with you? He's like, put this stuff out. People want this stuff. People love it. He goes, I love this stuff. I've collected. And it's like, but I'm always thinking the future, right? Like as an artist, you're looking at your new stuff, and we're very critical of ourselves. And I look at it, it's like, yeah, but if I did this now, it would look like this. And it's like, but I forget how much people truly appreciate that. But then he did explain it to me. He's like, look at how Mickey Mouse, what Mickey Mouse started as and what Mickey Mouse looks like now. But people would kill to have some of the original drawings and the original art of Mickey. And I get that. I'm still learning to take critical Frank outside of my artist brain and how I perceive stuff versus how other people would appreciate and like stuff. So yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I see it as a flower, right? Like the core of you is there no matter what, and then each year is like a petal onto that flower to where you are now, which is just amazing. But like that's what I saw some of your older artwork, and I just became like, oh, I would love to have a piece of that. That's great. So you had thoughts of like re-releasing some of those. I think a few of the Fluffle would love that.
Do you absolutely? I mean, you can tell me. You don't have to tell me. But you could tell me now. But otherwise, you could always throw it. Like, is there ones in particular that you really like? Because I will absolutely do that for you guys.
And we need to get on your Facebook because I hear that your old Facebook accounts where you posted all that stuff.
Instagram. Yeah. Just scroll down past all the Battle Bunnies stuff, and you'll find.
Oh, he's got some of the OG stuff.
Yeah, those are some of the sticker packs.
I've heard your business cards are art too. Like your previous ones are like collectibles, and your current one, I can't wait to see at Richmond. So we'll get you an extra one, BBS. If Frank will give us two, either Lord L or I will get it to you.
What do you need? I'll get you whatever you need, BBS. We're sending.
He's writing him down. He's like,
I'll narrow it down. I'll narrow it down. How do I take away from the show?
No, that's fine, and I'll see what I have.
I'm a huge fan, like all the way back. So like, yeah, seeing the and like an art fan too. Like I was a graphic designer for 17 years, and then transitioned into marketing, which is I'll tell you a quick story. So I was a graphic designer. I didn't have a degree. I just kind of left a trade school and just had the connections to move my way to very large companies like Gillette. So I understand packaging, to like Shaw's and grocery stores, and Shaw's is a grocery store in New England. And so my boss came to me and said, hey, if you had a degree, I could help you transition over. Like they were just about to get bought. by another company, like an acquisition. So I went to school, and then I just like never stopped, and I got an MBA, and then I just transitioned into marketing. But yeah, so as like a art fan, seeing the progression of that, it makes me like geek out on it. So like that's what really draw me to you and to this project. And then the everything down to the good mornings. I mean, like you're the number one fan, right? You're the core of the community. You're like, it's like when someone says, "Hey, what's the definition of a community?" It really starts at the top, and it starts with you and Krista. And now I'm starting to see like Mike and no, I mean Mike doesn't jump in too much, but John has been jumping a little bit more in more than not. But yeah, that was my tangent.
No, and that's I'm gonna get you hooked up, buddy. I'm gonna see. I know we got everything in the Battle Bunnies room, and I'm gonna see what I do have here, and we'll make sure it goes out to you in with your TCG and all of that stuff. And then in the future, I will bring back other artwork that I don't have, and if you guys particularly like, I'll do that for you. But being part of this community, I don't know how we can not do it when we're not there. More like I'll go back and I love the good mornings, and I'll go through and see everybody that say good morning, and I'll say good morning to each one of you. And then I try to think of a different way to say good morning. Like sometimes I'll say good morning, sir. Good morning. Hey, BBS. Hey, hey. But then I'm like, I'm just getting so creative every way I say good morning, and I just want to say, morning, BBS. Morning, B-Hit. Morning, Aaron. Morning, Disco. And put all my expectations. But I don't want everybody to think, oh, he's just copying and pasting. So I try to be creative. But holy shit.
It's consistent. People that we have on here, they bring that up. Yeah, they bring it up. Everybody that we have on here. Yeah, we see Frank every day. We see Krista every day, and they say good morning. And it's a tiny little effort, right? But it goes a long way. Like I geek out when I see any of you guys. I'm a huge fan of everybody. I see Brian on. I'm gonna. Lord, I'm so excited.
Brian isn't on it as much. Yeah, Lord, you got like what's 14 hours before us or ahead of us, so he's going to bed right now.
You're about to go to bed, and I'm just waking up. Yeah.
And you know what's funny? We get the same.
I'm gonna.
Don't cut me off, young man.
I told you everyone at the start of this he would do this. I called it from the start. Okay, this was me trying to mute.
I got the square. It was 2 hours and 18 minutes in. No.
I was just going to say, I get just as excited when I see you guys pop in. Like, so I don't know whether people realize it or not, but like when you guys come in and I am like, hey, Brian, hey, and I put all the exclamations because I get excited to see it because I realize, look, anybody can, there's millions of NFT projects out there. There's millions of Discords and community out there. Just, the fact that you guys choose to come in, spend your time there, chat with us and do all of that and doing it regularly, frequently, and spending that much time with there, I'm so grateful for. And so I do get excited because I appreciate that you guys are choosing to spend your time with us as opposed to anywhere else that you could spend that time. So I do get excited. Krista gets excited. Like we get excited to see your names pop up, and which is why we make the effort to talk to you guys, have conversation. And even if we're busy, sometimes we can't have long conversations, but just to acknowledge the fact that you chose to spend your money or pop in and say something or say stuff to the community or be a part of it. We want to acknowledge that and take our time to let you guys know that we appreciate it.
We appreciate it.
Well, with the Battle Bunnies, man, the line of
Luke, just keep going, buddy. Just keep doing it, man. Okay. Talk over Frank. He'll shut up. Just keep talking.
Just go.
The line between Web3 and IRL friends is non-existent anymore. There is no such thing as, when I'm talking about you guys, I don't go online or Web3 friends. I go my friends in America or this because of what we've created here as a family and as the community. It's totally different. So, when you say, it baffles you, but you get so excited when you say, we choose to have all this time here is, we don't see it any other way, like we text you guys just as much as we text our IRL friends, like these are all my friends. And that's how I always say it. Like I use everyone here in life, You know, I'll be like, oh, BBS said this the other day to one of my friends, and they'll be like, BBS. Sorry for my language. And I'll be like, oh, he's my mate in America. You know what I mean? You don't go, oh, it's a Discord thing. Don't worry about it. You know, it's it's one of my friends from over here. Like, and for me to be able to say that is an honor for myself. Like, to know each and every single one of you. You know, we're all from different walks of life. You know, we all hide behind an NFT, PFP, but yet we're 16 to 70 years old. But we all come together to the one place. And before we jump in these spaces now, before we jump into these VCs that we're in every day in Discord, we still have the same opinion of the person, not even knowing what they look like. Like, that's the biggest thing that I like to express with this community, and like what we've created here is we're literally multicultural. Short, fat, skinny, whatever you want to say. We're all like jocks. We've got nerds. We've got emos, but yet we all have that one common interest. We have that one common love. And it's the Battle Bunnies as a whole, because we're all here for a different reason. Someone's here for the art. Someone's here for just to talk. Like that. Having that for us as well is crazy on its own, man. And I know I paint a vision on everyone that's going to be coming up on here, and then they never look like what they're going to look like. And I'm sure they don't think I'm going to look like I'm going to look.
Gets us every time too. You get you for a second, but then you're like, oh, it's you. I feel like we created a socially awkward club for the socially awkward.
There you go.
Yeah.
How they have social clubs? Well, this is a socially awkward club. And it's broke because I don't think of I was never a cool kid. And even in the tattoo world, all of a sudden people think you're cool, and it's like, no, I'm like the not cool tattoo artist because I don't live that type of style. And now in here, I feel like it's a community of people who grew up being not cool, but in here we're all so freaking cool.
Yeah.
There you go.
There we go. There's the Brian we know.
Thank you, Brian, for showing. Brian has entered the building, everybody.
You said emo, and I was like, whoa.
Is that a dig at you, Frank?
What?
I think that's a dig at you, Frank. Is that a dig at Frank because he doesn't have a luscious head of hair like that?
No, he's going to let me borrow that. No,
yeah, I'm bringing it to Richmond, man. Like, oh no, I was doing these spoofy videos for my brain health stuff. So I got all these
what's happening right now?
I don't know.
This is totally gone off. This is what happens 2 hours into a conversation as Brian starts breaking out his wigs.
But it's fun.
And on that note, before Brian gets bad cop about having to be the bad cop, I'm going to be the bad cop for once for you, Brian.
Oh,
all right. And I think, wow. And it's an absolute honor to have had you here, Frank. And I know you're honored just as much to be here. And we could literally sit here for hours on end. I'm talking. We're at the 2-hour mark, and we haven't even gone past the art that much. We've done a little bit of the dive of Frank's beginning, but even then, we're still just on the outskirts of the mind of the LaNatras. So it's like, is there anything else that you wanted to say, to the listeners listening now before we end this space today, to get you back up next time? Like,
I'll just keep talking. So if you guys got questions, you
it's not a space, it's a show.
Well, it's really, he said it's space. We're not on a space.
This isn't Twitter.
Well, we are a space.
We're not on X. This is a show,
we definitely
man.
have to have you come back on.
We're on Google. We're on YouTube. We're on Apple Podcasts, Google Play. Like, we're everywhere. This isn't a show or a space.
Yeah. It is a show, Brian. It is a show.
It is a show. This isn't a space.
Oh my God.
Space. You bore my brain out. But
I would be honored to come on and hang out with you guys anytime and talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. And I love this. This was just awesome, man. And I'm always down. You guys ask me questions. Let me know. We were just going to wait till after Richmond, but then John was saying, hey, man, try and jump on. And I was like, all right, you know what? I got all my stuff up. Oh, yeah, I'll do it. Let's do it. You know, because
We definitely have to have your better half. I mean, like, it's not just Frank, it's Frank and Krista. Like, we would love to have you both on, like, a panel show. Yeah, for sure. Like,
yeah, we could do that. We'll absolutely do that.
We just want to put you on because we know how much alpha you usually leak on your own. So we're like, yo, we all talk together beforehand. We're like, let's get Frank on because he's going to blow it and we're going to love it. The listeners are going to love it. The watchers are going to love it. And on this show, they're going to absolutely love it. So we're like, you know, I was joking, Frank. We didn't think of that, but.
Yeah, we didn't try to pry any alpha out of you. Like, we didn't try to pry any alpha out of you today.
We didn't have to.
No, you were very good.
I went and got the stuff myself, and Krista won't see this till after Richmond, right? So she won't know. And that way, it's completely free and clear. I'm good.
Yeah, it's free and clear. It's for if you show up at Richmond, you have the opportunity to add to your collection with those canvases that are, you know, going to be coming home with Luke first because he's riding to Richmond with you.
Right? Like, no, he's not. He's flying into Richmond, but he will be the first one there.
I'm flying now. Yeah.
Oh, you're flying now into Richmond. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
The story has changed.
Well, he changed it constantly. Till last time I'm waiting, and then just 2 days ago, he's like, I still didn't get my ticket. I'm like, what are you doing?
Oh man. Well, I still have to book my room. So if that tells you anything, I'm behind him. I got to book my room and I got to get a ticket. Like,
Ryan.
So.
Talk to John and Mike now because I don't know if there's rooms still left. There might be still rooms at the hotel we're staying.
I Airbnb. Like I usually get like an Airbnb or a VRBO or something like that in the area. Like it's not important for me to stay on property at the convention. So yeah, I'll figure something out. I'm a seat of your pants kind of traveler.
All right, no, that's fair enough. It's just because there's the late nights, like tattoo conventions. Everybody's hanging out late night, and usually everybody then just wants to crawl back.
Yeah, they just want to pass out in the hallway like Luke.
Yes, right? Just disappear. He has done some wild stuff before from last year.
We've heard some stories. Did you hear that, Luke? Did you hear about your passing out in the hallway and? They had to get you back to your room last year. That didn't happen. Did he freeze?
Yeah, I did.
Oh,
we don't hear you.
He's doing great.
I pressed the the mute button. Typical Lord fashion.
That's okay. We've heard some stories.
Yes, I do remember that.
Was that Ronnie that told us the stories?
No. Yeah, it would have been. I remember it was Kobe Carrot and the crew from the Mad Hares that got me back to my room, and it was an absolutely wild time. I didn't even remember having a quick nap on the floor of level 4 or whatever it was.
That was Brian that told us.
I do remember getting
Brian. Yeah, Brian told us.
Yeah, Brian Keefe, Cryptimus Maximus. He told us that story.
Oh, dang it. I missed it. Oh, that would have been good.
Yeah, he was giving us an alpha on Lord L because you guys have been friends and he's going to come back on. We're going to have him on with all 3 of us. And you'll get your chance, Luke. So you'll get your chance to not dig up dirt, but just talk about like stories you know about.
Tell the real story. Tell the real story because I'm sure he added some fluff on it. I had a couple of wines. That was it, it wasn't.
Yeah, I mean, you're a lightweight, like that.
I'm curious. Do we still have any idea when the first episode's coming out?
We're working on the intro. John's team at Food Fight is helping out with that. We have recorded like the music introduction with my voiceover. And he is now taking that and he's putting video to it.
Okay.
So that we can do it. But I think you're going to be happy when we do launch this. It's not just going to be, we're going to drip out 1 or 2 episodes. We're going to make a lot of it available on YouTube. And then we'll drip out the podcast on Apple Podcast. But we'll make it so that we can do, a live listener party in the Discord. The only thing that we'll probably not get the benefit of is having a whole bunch of people come in and listen to it and give it credibility, but we don't care. Like, this is for the fans. I mean, it would be nice if we got like that listener juice that you get from having a bunch of people download and listen to your podcast or your show. But it's just going to happen organically. You know, these first ones are for these first ones are for the ultimate community members. And, as we keep going, people will discover it and they'll go back and listen to those original episodes and stuff like that.
And I think especially with the TCG growing, the stuff doing like all of it's going to tie in where people are going to find this stuff and want to learn more about it. And it's all going to come together like that. But really the only reason I keep busting chops in those because I want to see them, but I just want to watch them with everybody. Even if we do like, what do you call like the early preview before the movie releases where people get a pre-screen or something.
Pre-screen.
Yeah, for everybody in the day where we have that once a week and we do like a community, we'll watch it on YouTube together, And that'd be cool. That's it. And you guys could release it.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, we could.
Yeah, we're just as excited as you are. We want these out. Like, like we have 12 that we've done, at least.
We got another 16 more that are getting booked.
16 more, that are
awesome. I'm so curious to see who it is too. That's the thing I'm always excited. Like, I'm hearing who was on there or they made they saying, "Oh, I was on it," and so like I'm like, "Oh, damn, you were on it!" Oh, and now I just want to see them. But got to get Chris on it soon too.
And we're gonna need some help with getting Miss Firefly on. We will get her on eventually. What I thought we might do is a special episodes around Valkyries and have Krista and Mrs. Firefly.
That's a good idea.
Join as like a panel and do like a just a discussion around the Valkyries because Miss Firefly, she's a very, very important Valkyrie. And obviously Christikins is Queen Christikins. So I think we could do some really cool stuff if we do a theme-based show. It's just I think we're gonna have to nudge her a little bit because she's like,
we can display something too so that the box is a little bit smaller. Like we could say, hey, you're not going to be like the full size of the screen. It's just we're gonna display something at all times so that it'll be a smaller box.
Yeah, or even if you could try and get her like one of the private ones behind the scenes, like we did first, just to like they have her in putt-putt now, so she's playing in the VR and putt-putt. But we've hung out with her in person. She's come to our house. She's helped us put Battle Bunnies merch together. Krista tattooed her, so it's a slow process, but she's so integral to everything, and she's literally a day one. Like Miss Firefly has been every single thing, every voice chat, every event, every there's never a moment she's not.
I don't think there's not another community member as decorated as her in everything, legit. So she is the Fluffle. She is like just each and every single one of us. But if you don't know Miss Firefly in the Battle Bunnies, you don't know the Battle Bunnies. So she's definitely an integral part, and we love everything that she does for us because I've been touched by her personally, that she's done so many amazing things for me, and I'm almost every single person listening probably right now could say they've had some type of a for instance with her that she's got a heart of gold, mate. She is a beautiful person, and I can't wait to meet her in Richmond, man. It's going to be a trip. And who knows, after Richmond gets to meet all of us in person, she might be even more inclined to jump on. We might even be able to sneak a little interview with her at Richmond. That's what I was hoping for.
Yeah. Yes. Like she has the ultimate collection too, by the way. Like she has the ultimate collection. Like I fanboy her collection. I fanboy her collection quite a bit. I'm like, oh my gosh, this bunny's so awesome. And then like, ooh, Miss Firefly Vault. I'm like, oh my gosh, she's got so much good stuff.
Is that ever coming out? It's in the vault forever.
It's like the Disney vault.
the thing. It's like it's so hard to find. Doug is also like almost day one with us since the beginning. But other those are two of the that came in knowing us beforehand, but we really didn't know them, right? But they have been with us, and it's almost like to say that Miss Firefly isn't probably one of the biggest and most dedicated fans, and like on this journey with us. It's like she's so integral to everything, you know. And Doug is a little more on the quiet side, but he's very active regardless. But just thinking of those two of like being on this journey with us since the beginning, when nobody knew what the Battle Bunnies were, who we were, nothing. Everybody else was just coming in as an NFT project and learned about it. But those two really, you know, followed us in and have just been here with us through everything.
Yeah.
I want to create like a puzzle. I want to create the world's largest puzzle. I want to put each community member on a puzzle, right? And that's really the world. Like, so when I think of like Miss Firefly, I think like she has definitely earned that piece to be a part of that puzzle. And like, if we don't have everything just locked in and loaded, we can't move as fast as we are. Like, so much growth in the last.
She's like one of the corner pieces. You know what I mean? Like, you get the corner pieces first, right? BBS. You reckon she'd be a corner piece, or do you reckon she's like the ones right in the middle?
Brian would be
The
a corner
last
piece. Yep. Frank's the piece that we start with. Frank and Chris are the piece that we start with. They have the most color.
Like the Junk Box Studios and Frank and Krista like in the middle, and then everybody surrounding it. like, you know, that would be cool. Yeah, I can see
it would be an awesome puzzle.
That's actually really good.
I gotta tell you, I get like I blush or I get shy when and I get it. Like I get where the founders were the creators of all of this and stuff, but it's still it was like that for me in the tattoo world too. You know, people come up and they tell me, "Oh, I'm such a huge fan." Well, or some artists or people would come up and they're so weirded out to talk to me. They're so nervous, and I'm like, "Oh my God, cut that shit out! Like just hang out, talk to me." You know, like it's just strange, you know. And I don't get me wrong, I'm appreciating, I'm grateful, but it's like I am right here with you guys. We are building this together. I hate, you know, I was gonna say, you know, I don't drink much at all, but I will have a drink. I'm gonna have a drink in Richmond, whatever. But that's what I feel like. It's like I want to eat dinner with you guys. I want to just hang out and just what we're doing now and bullshitting and talking and getting to know each other. That's what me and Krista love it. We're friends. We're becoming family and friends because that's what we need in our lives. And so it's weird when people do that kind of stuff. I get it, but it's still weird.
Yeah, I think we feel that too.
It's crazy for us to know that we. Sorry, kept talking. I should just keep talking.
No, we feel that from you. We feel that, you know, like that you're right there beside us. You're not in front of us or talking down to us. You're right there alongside of us, and we're alongside of you as we take this journey through this amazing world that you've created.
We've created together. We really have, man, and that's yeah. Because like once again, right? This TCG was created by the community. The novel, all the stuff that came in, you know, co-created by the community. This Fancast is the community. It has nothing to do with me or Krista. You know, granted, it's fans of the art and the world that we're all building together, but you guys created that, and that's the beauty. Just to see that there's so much love for the art and the world and the stories and the characters and the community and just everything that's here, that people want to build off of it. That's, you know, this is where this is my dream, creating something like Star Wars, Harry Potter, Disney, right? That's what people have done. They find their own ways to be fans of Harry Potter or Star Wars and build stuff based on those worlds. And to just see this in its infancy and see that it's the start of that, I could never ask for something more wonderful than that.
Yeah, and the fact that everything starts at the head, man. Everything starts at the top, you know, and that's why we're all here. You know, like, yes, Food Fight Studio, yes, there's a lot of other integral people that, you know, make the Battle Bunnies, but, you know, we're investing our time and our love, and I'll say this all the time, and I'll say it in spaces to come, you know, we're investing our time and love into you and Krista. You know, like the facts, the passion, like how humble you guys are. Like, in the industry, you guys are huge, but in our Battle Bunny world, you're obviously still huge, but you don't act it, you don't portray it. You're not, you're not on this pedestal. Like, you're down in the trenches with us. You're on the front line with us. And the fact that I've got like a direct line to Frank LaNatra and Crystal LaNatra, like I can ring you guys, like. I fanboy at times on my own, and because I'm heavily tattooed, and I'm pretty big on going to a lot of tattoo places around here, and the fact that you guys are massive, like a lot of the artists out there that I know would dream to just say hello to you, and the fact that we get you every single day, like, man, it's an honor in so many different ways. Like, I was going to say you can't imagine, but you can, because we're here to tell you.
I'm looking for you guys when everybody's not around. Sometimes me and Krista sitting out, we're hanging out, and usually most people would say, "Hey, let's go watch a show, do something like that," and we think it's like, "What the hell is everybody doing? Where is everybody?" And then we'll just start pinging people. It's just like, "What the fuck are you guys doing? What's going on?" I harass Aaron a lot too. He'll just text me too. He's like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" And we'll just jump in voice chat, and then everybody will start jumping in voice chat to join in, and then we're all hanging out again. But it's just weird not hanging around with each other, man. And we're always in the round table too. You have access. I think you all have. Well, I know you do because you're Steph, but you have access to the round table, right, Brian? So
yeah, I do. I just never can get in.
Yeah, I know I'm always like working or whatever. Yeah, but I will pop in. Yeah.
Yeah, because
I have 3 jobs now instead of 1. So
best is when Aaron's drunk. Those are the best nights, man. Catch Aaron on a drunk poker night. Oh my God, we are having fun and laughing. We had one the other night and we were crying. And then Mike came in there and oh my God, it was good. It was good.
Nice.
So it's just a lot of fun. And honestly, how can we not want to be around that every day and do all of that? Like, at this point, it's not, it's just family and friends.
Yeah, it's awesome.
That's awesome.
It is awesome.
Now we're going to keep that out. This is a family-friendly show, Frank.
Damn it. Just bleep it out.
Wow.
Well, I figured we're so far into it, maybe this won't make it into the show.
Yeah, or it could be multiple shows. Now we're actually we with you and Aaron. You have now exceeded Aaron on time.
Yep, so we can tell him that officially.
I know that's what you were trying to do.
I told you I'll give him a run for his money.
But
he'll have to come on and do 3 hours. And that's
he'll have to do 3 hours. Like that's the thing though, is like we could take what we've talked about and we could turn this into like 4 or 5 shows, just because there's like so many different themes that we've covered, and we haven't even scratched, like Luke was just saying, we haven't scratched the surface on like anything. Like we're just bunch of friends talking about something we love, and we're giving people a behind the scenes, the fly on the wall, opportunity to come and listen to you talk about, you being a fan of the community, you being a fan of your own art, and like just everything. I mean, that's pretty cool. Like, and I know we're going to have you back. We're going to have you back a whole bunch. Yeah. Luke did a good job of trying to close us out a few minutes ago.
An hour ago.
That's where it starts though. It never works like that. So that's why we always start planting the seeds early, because that's how it goes when we're on the roll. Like if it's not put out there, it's going to keep going. That's why you'll notice just before we're all silent, we've all got questions upon questions to ask. And stuff that we really. I don't think I didn't answer you. I didn't ask you any of this stuff. Not one question.
Like we'll do an honest Q&A where I won't run off on tangents and we won't do stuff. So whenever you guys,
no, we love it. This is
perfect. Like
this is the authenticity of it.
What the community wants.
This is what we like.
Yeah, because you can't do this. You can't do this on a space because there's so many randos that show up in those Twitter spaces. Like you don't like they don't. Yes, there's the core community, but then there's the people that discover it from like whatever those space things where we jump around everybody's space, and they wouldn't get it. Like they wouldn't get it. Like they'd be like, "Why are you guys talking for 2 hours about this?"
Yeah, they
stuff?
jump in and pitch their own. Like we've had a couple of those where they're just like, "Hey, thanks for the time. I'd like to tell you about my project. It's minting tomorrow. It costs this much. We have this whole like plan that we're going to roll out, and we don't have
And if
anything
you
else
would just
to
come bring your
say."
ETH over to our, to our house and leave your ETH when you walk out the door.
We wait for
It's
Frank
like,
to
I
say
get
good
it. I mean,
talk,
you have
and
to
then we
promote,
move on.
like, you have to promote what you're doing, but like,
Right, yeah.
Like, or you die, like, but there's times and places for it. And then this is not meant to be this. This isn't us promoting the Battle Bunnies. This is us loving on the Battle Bunnies because we're fans. Like,
Right.
You won't ever hear us be like, you need to go. I mean, yes, you will hear us like, hey, you want to learn more about the community? Go to Discord. Like, join us on Discord, where Frank greets everybody differently with his good mornings because he doesn't want you to think that you're not special. Like, that is gold. That is gold, because like you just shared like that you care about every single person, making them think that they're special because you do think they're special, and you don't want them to think, oh, this is just some like key on that thing that BBS won where he could just press this thing like, good morning, insert name.
That thing is awesome. I got mine here too.
Yeah.
Nice. I want one just so I can do the rabbit hole game where I can do percent hop, percent accept, percent roll. You got one
Oh
too?
my goodness.
Oh my gosh, I am.
It's a different type of one though. Yeah, it's not the same as what you guys got, but it's one nonetheless.
I'll tell you what though, I don't think Glock is rebuilding the rabbit hole to have buttons.
Yeah, he showed. Oops, I'm not supposed to say that. He showed me, like, because you guys know I'm a like Glock, and he's like, hey, do you want to see something? So I'm like, of course I want to see something. Like, I haven't hopped like 37,000 times, in 5 months because I don't like what you're doing. So he showed me that he's gonna make it so it's just like button. That'll be so cool.
I think we're going to talk in Richmond about the expansion, but we have some awesome ideas for the expansion for farming within the game. So collecting materials in order to unlock, you have to farm materials to craft items, and then those items you collect NFTs, and then you could get rolled like holding. There's a lot of things I don't want to get into, but your weapons and armor in order to take on new bosses. So like it'll just be different for just summoning bosses. But I've been going down like, how can we really get quests and other areas and things from characters in the game where you can actually start farming and collect. You have to get a certain set. Maybe you need the Sword of Kaik and the Shield of Kaik, like a 3-piece armor set in order to take on a specific boss that only drops you this or only drops you that, and that's the way you collect them. And there's limited amounts of these weapons and items, so you might need to trade them or sell them to each other if you guys farm them and craft them first.
That was alpha. Keep talking, Frank. Keep talking. That's some great alpha. Keep talking.
On the rabbit hole that I've been talking about.
I showed you before where you started recording the whole Smurf thing. Like, that totally sounds like the Smurf thing. Like, I have to do certain things in order to build out my Smurf village. I've got to build out things in the rabbit hole to summon bosses that I want to defeat because I want to get a chance at XYZ. That's cool.
Yeah. So we got some things in mind. It'd be like a whole new expansion versus just continuing, and we'll add new prestige levels because that's obvious. Just so now you could prestige in one path, but we want other paths that you could take in order to build in other ways. And now you got choices on which paths you want to build towards. Do you want to focus on prestiging? Do you want to focus on this? Just we really want it to be its own little adventure game in the Battle Bunnies world.
Yeah, and I love that if you collect each of the icons, that there's a reward for that, like a set of icons. I do like that.
Yeah. So we did release the alpha on what you get for collecting all 6 class icons. We dropped that in the space.
An IRL coin.
Yep.
Yeah, we've seen that. Yeah.
Yeah, the rabbit hole challenge coin.
Yeah, I'm
So
looking
I
forward
think
to
That's
that.
why I've been in the rabbit hole lately, because I've been boycotting the rabbit hole because I always roll a 1 and they always roll an 18 or something. So I'm like,
A 20.
I'm not doing this anymore. But then someone said to me, it's because you're never in there, bro. You need to get in there and upgrade your weapons and prestige and stuff like that. They'll like you a lot more. And I was like, oh, what? So I've been actively trying to get in there now.
Why do you think I have 50 some?
Sure. What?
Yeah, I got
How many
50 some.
shamans
of those
you got,
things because
Brian?
I just keep upgrading. What?
Mhm.
Did I get a shaman? Yeah.
How many shamans you got?
I didn't get it the right way though.
There
I
is
paid
no
$6
wrong way,
for
Brian.
it. I paid $6 worth of Matic because I was so frustrated. I was never going to win one, but I still don't count the fact that I have them all. But somebody that was leaving, they had their shaman up for grabs, and I went in and bought it. I was like, it's not handing them out in the game. So like after 56 or whatever, what do you call them again? They're called you know the name for them, BBS. What are the little icons that spin called?
Oh,
Class icons.
class icons or the prestige icons?
No, don't they have like a special type of name?
I don't think they have a
icon.
name.
Oh, they don't have a special. Well, I have like 50 some of them. I even gave Silly Girl one of my Spartans. I had like 9 or 10 Spartans, and she's like, "I'm never gonna get a Spartan." I was like, "I'll give you one."
Dude,
like, here you go.
Yeah, I traded into two shaman. I traded 2 of those in the last Seither games.
For the Seither, oh my god! And you know what? The Spartan icons—that's what we call them—the class icons.
Class icons. That's what the class icons. Yeah.
Class
That's what
icons. Yeah.
They're the Spartan ones were supposed to be so rare because there was only 100. There's only 100 of those. There's 200 of the shaman ones. Yet nobody saw that coming. The shamans are so elusive, and you can't get them. But what's going to happen is once all the Spartan icons are gone, the percentage chance it's going to move into the percentage chance of the shaman ones. So those will start coming out more, and we are down to very few Spartan icons.
I got 2 in a row one night, and I thought the thing was broke.
Clark says it's just RNG. I thought it was broke many times, and I kept asking him. He keeps checking. He said, "No, it's fine." I was like, "Okay, all right," but they're just unloading. But I'm excited because nothing we do is half-ass or half-butt because I guess it's a children's show. Just like everything we do, and so these challenge coins are going to be badass. Definitely know you can expect something super cool, and I feel like that's like your medallion, like you've completed your quest, and that's look at the end of Star Wars, right? They defeat they blow up the Death Star, and Luke and Han, they all get their like medallion, and I just feel like that's a great symbol of completing that and then moving on to the expansion.
They get their what? They get
medallion.
Their what?
Medallion? You got one?
Do you see the poster?
The what?
Like,
oh yeah, you made me almost curse. Yeah, there it is. I didn't see that before until you moved the camera.
Yeah, I had to move the camera so you guys could see it, but they have that's a scene. That's the closing scene from the first movie, and
yes, it is.
They got their medals like Wreck-It Ralph.
Yeah, that's right. That was another great movie. But that's what I always try to I think of when we do stuff for you guys and think about things like ways that it's because of stuff like this that I tie everything to. Even when you think of the novels, book 1 seems a very New Hope to me, right? Hoplite, Luke Skywalker, right? When I was talking to Greg, talking to John, when we were working on books 2 and 3, in my head, all I could think of is Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi. This is, there's a formula there. And when you read The Unlikely Spartan, you could start to see similarities because being a part of it and creating the world, you could see where I'm like, these things just made sense. And it's the same thing. How do we send everybody on their own adventures and their own journeys through this world? Well, look, you've conquered the rabbit hole. You've collected all the class icons. You defeated the prestige bosses. You earned your trophy, your reward, this medallion that shows that you're a hero of the rabbit hole. That's the things we want to create that are collectibles that people will be like, look years from now and be like, damn, how did you get that? Oh my God, that's awesome. You don't see many of these. They're almost non-existent. Like, because how many are going to make it through the years, right? And so there's these rarities and, you know, all that stuff. And that's what I want to create with everybody and create for everyone.
That's awesome. That's what we love. We just love that you guys are thinking about those things for us in the community. Well, before we get into another
it's 12:30
conversation, we gotta go. We gotta go. So it's
know that we have
100
more questions. We'll talk all night about
for sure.
this.
Yeah. So we got to send you to the green room so that we can close this out.
Go ahead. Kick me out.
Because you know that's just what we do. Is like, you know, we put you in the green room and we say goodbye to you. Although you'll still be able to listen to us.
Yeah.
And then we'll stop the recording.
All right.
And then we'll probably talk for another 20, 25 to 30 minutes.
Another hour without any recording on. So
anytime you guys want me back, I'm down. I'm here.
yeah, we appreciate it. Yeah.
Put me in the
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much. Knarf spelled backwards is Frank.
It is.
Somebody had to tell me that a few weeks ago when
Knarf the Mad spelled backwards is damn it, Frank.
Oh my God, you're right.
There you go. Even though the H is in there, but
yeah, the H kind of screws it up a little bit, and it's not an I, right?
What?
But damn it is with an I, right?
It's kind of like damn it, Frank.
I still like yours better though. Damn it, Frank.
Yeah.
So no, that's awesome. So much little nuggets and Easter eggs that you guys plant everywhere. So we will wrap things up by saying thank you, Frank, for joining us for the last almost 3 hours. Actually, it's more than 3 hours because we didn't start immediately. So we appreciate you. I can speak for Luke and BBS and know that, you know, we would love to have you back on multiple times. You've always got a seat. You and Krista and just everybody in the community. We just want to talk to everybody over and over again. So this is just our ways to hang out with our friends for 3 hours.
Pushing 4 now.
Yeah, we're pushing 4. Yeah, it'll be like 1 a.m. by the time I get to bed. But thank you. And we shouldn't say what time it is because it's, you know, like Luke, it's like 10 a.m. or something, right? He's probably got to get off. It's Tuesday morning.
2:30 in the afternoon.
2:30.
It's almost 2:30. That's right.
2:30.
I can't even do the math. Like, it's you got to add
14 hours ahead. Yep.
Oh man. So thank you for your time.
Yeah, I got school run to come.
You got school to pick up?
Is just waking up.
Yeah.
That's right.
Nice. Yeah. But thank you. And we'll put you in the green room.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. But yeah, we appreciate everything you're doing. And we're going to close it out. You can listen and we'll come back and we'll say goodbye.
Sounds good.
Awesome.
Wow. Have it,
that was
folks,
great.
Right? Well, what a treat. Seriously.
Like, how do you top that? Like, I mean, getting to hear the stories about them starting and like going back to 2021 in November, like this was like, what's an NFT to what it is now? Like the innovators in the space doing things that, you know, we didn't even get to, but we know just from everything that we've heard from other people inside the communities that are ultimate fans about the things that they're doing. And they're all doing it for us. They're doing it for us as a community because we love it. And I think, you know, like we could have Frank on every week and we'd get gold out of it. Like there would just be so much value.
It's really good to hear him say the things that we already think and know, you know, like, you know, him reassuring to us, like you said, like when he first jumped in this space, NFTs was about making boatloads of money, you know, when we're talking, you know, NFTs worth $250,000, and it's like the fact that didn't happen straight off the bat, but yet they didn't run away, you know, and they're still here 2 years later, like grinding harder than ever. Like hearing that passion, hearing the joy, you know, like thinking about like even Frank himself. Like to me, the Battle Bunnies is kind of like, I'm 33 years old now, and it's making my imagination go back to where I wanted it to be, when I was younger, how I want to be now, and with no shame about thinking about it, like it's hard to explain the feeling that you get, but it's well worth it, and it's crazy when you dive in and you jump in, and you're a part of what we're creating, this amazing franchise. Like hearing them say it, like when he looked up to the Walt Disney and loves the Star Wars franchise, and I see ourselves being their competition, that's for sure. Non-financial, obviously, but I guarantee you watch this space, not the space that we're in, because this is not a space, but you watch this space, man. We're making waves, bro. We're making waves.
Yeah, I'm ready to buy my ticket to the Battle Bunnies Museum today. Like, if there's a pre-order for the thing that's
pre-ordered
5 years away, I'm in line to get my pre-order ticket for the Battle Bunnies Museum that's still just in the mind of LaNatra. Like that I can't wait to see. I hope we can bring that to fruition, that becomes a real thing, because I think it'll have the ability to reach communities and people that, love it for all the things that we love it. And BBS, do you have anything to share with the community before we say goodbye? Because you're always the quiet one, but then when he speaks,
I'm quiet.
it's like,
So I'm extremely introverted, and I'd like everybody to know that I'm a deep thinker. So I'm constantly thinking about things, and I'm listening. What I really loved about this episode was that we got to learn the history, a little bit of the history. To Brian's point, we did scratch the surface a little bit of that, but to learn the influences and even down to the color palettes, because that's, these are things that you see and you think, oh, I need that on the wall. I want to show that off. And I feel like that it goes beyond that 3-letter word NFT, and it's going to help everybody understand what this is and who we are, is when we start bridging the gap, which is he already started to do that in the beginning with the original art. So that was a little bit of me saying, hey, I have a question that's not Battle Bunnies related, but could you please open the vault?
I was about to say, BBS is like, the best part of the show was basically the questions I asked. I was like, damn.
No, not true.
I'm just busting your chops there, BBS. I'm just busting your chops.
LaNatra art.
The LaNatra art is not my. I just asked a question, but I also enjoy the community aspect of it. Like, you hear him talk about the community and the passion behind that, and for him to say, like, hey, I'm not a star here. It's everybody has an equal part to this. That to me is the leadership that I'm looking for. Is someone that's going to walk alongside us, and we all enjoy this. We all have a piece in this. Yeah, they may have a larger piece, right? But we're all just walking along together. And I appreciate you busting my chops on that. and I will get you back. Maybe I'll release my Twitter picker GIF to the public.
Oh no, not. You're gonna put it on Giphy.
I'll keep it in the vault. I'll keep it in the vault, but it's gonna be it's a Jiffy. It'll be up in Jiffy.
Soon to be found in Jiffy.
I was busting your chops, BBS, but it's true though, bro. Like you are introverted, but the questions that you do ask too, man, are crazy. Like that silent sleeper, man. You're silent, and then you literally ask the questions that I'm thinking that I can't work out how to ask, man. So we appreciate you. I love listening to you speak, and listening to you talk to Frank, man. It's even better. So it's like, kudos to you, bro. I was just busting your chops because I just thought it was funny.
No, I appreciate that. And for me, it's like I've seen Frank for the first time. This is great, like trying to keep it in.
Yeah, trying to keep your fanboyness down. That's why I'm so excited. I'm only really
quiet. Job of it, but it's fine.
Yeah, like I think BBS and I are a lot alike in the fact that probably in the other aspects of our lives we're introverted. Like we, we're quiet, introspective, but when you bring us into this community, it pulls the excitement and the extroversion out of us, and we want to talk about this stuff. We want to tell the whole world. We're like, don't you see what's going on here? Like,
right, yeah, 100%.
Don't you read the stories? Like, the stories, like, it's like Luke Skywalker, and it's the hero's journey with Hoplite, and we get this cliffhanger.
Get into the story,
and we're like, come on, we need the next book now. Like it's just all so well done, and I love it that they have a passion for that. Like, they're thinking about like every little step, because they're fans of other franchises that are uber successful. And I bet that Roy and Walt were just like Frank and Krista. Like, in the early days, like they were thinking about the fans, and they were thinking about the people and building those things. They weren't saying, okay, how can we make a bag, big bunch of money and get billions of dollars from people coming to a park and stuff like that. They were thinking, how can we entertain people and give them joy? Because that's what, that's what they wanted to do. And Frank and Krista are doing the same thing. And like, that's why we're here. That's why we love this. That's why we're ultimate fans. So yeah.
When you said that, it made me think of, there's a documentary on Ub Iwerks. And if you haven't heard of him, I recommend looking up Ub Iwerks. For me, that person would be Mike, because Ub Iwerks was the one that created animation, basically. He just kept moving the needle step by step. And he got it to the point where in a couple of the movies, you saw animations in front of people, like live people. He would layer the film in so that you would be in front of the animations. And then he created these, it was just amazing. So if you, Ub Iwerks, look him up. It's an unbelievable story about how he was part of that Disney mix. But he, because it's Disney, and so it gets kind of washed out, but instrumental. So every piece of this, brand has their piece. But that, when you said that, it made me think of Ub Iwerks.
BBS Gold just dropped.
Mm-hmm. And it's okay, because he's a Yankees fan, and I'll excuse that.
Awesome. Anybody want to close us out? Now that he's bringing up the Yankees,
I just killed it. I just said something really nice. I was like, oh.
I bet Frank's a Yankees fan. He is. He's a Yankees fan, and you're a Boston fan, and we can still be in the same room together.
And we can still be in the same room, and Pirates is not mentioned at all during the whole thing. So
until
fine.
Now, always got to slip in the Pirates.
I'm going to stop talking now. This is bad.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody. Unless, Lord, you want to do it? You want me to roll? You want to roll with the wrap up? I felt.
Yeah, you can roll, my man.
Okay, all right. I hope you love this as much as we did. We just. I'm losing words, because I'm geeking out about what just happened over the last 3 hours, and it's been 3 hours. So we hope that you come back and join us in a future episode next week, or tomorrow, because we're gonna have so many episodes. We might just go to a daily. We're just gonna drop a 30-minute daily episode every day on the Battle Bunnies, because that's how many ultimate fans we have. Because they fell in love with this project, and they fell in love with these people, and they fell in love with all the stuff that we love as ultimate fans. And we hope through this, you too can become an ultimate fan and have you join us on the show. We'd love to have new people from the early, OGs to somebody that just discovered us, because everybody has a unique perspective. And I think everybody can talk to what they love about what Frank and Krista and Mike and John are all doing here for us, with us. And we will make sure that you are the star of the show. Thank you for joining us today, Ultimate Fan. BBS, Lord L, and Brian, that's me, do hope you enjoyed today's program as much as we did, where ultimate fans like you are the stars of the show. We'd be honored to have you join us on a future episode where you can share your story and love of the Battle Bunnies with this encouraging community. It would be the greatest compliment if you shared something you love about the Battle Bunnies on your favorite social platform today like X, Facebook, or Instagram and tagged us. Or simply use hashtag UltimateFancast so we can recognize and celebrate with you and other super fans by sharing your post. Bonus points if you do both and use an image of one of your favorite Battle Bunnies or a screenshot of this episode. We know you share, like, and comment because you care about our fellow Ultimate fans as much as we do. Please leave comments too to let us know how we can make this the greatest fan experience for the Battle Bunnies community. This podcast is sponsored by Hairstream Media, your bunnies all the time streaming service. Okay, not really. It is just us fans like you giving some of our time to support other fans like you. Join us over in the Battle Bunnies community and Discord to continue the fun. We hope you tune in with us each week. So make it easy. Subscribe now. We'll be here to keep you hopping when you need us. So anything that we're talking about now, like, probably won't make the show. Like,
I'm used to this. I do this with John, Mike, Chris, and we always jump into StreamYard before our like lives and stuff, and then we just wind up bullshitting for a long time, just hanging out in here. You're just squeaky McGee, aren't you, over there?
What? Like, you were just fine.
I'm trying. I know. I'm trying to get set up. I'm trying to find somewhere I can set myself up so the backdrop doesn't look like I'm.
Sounds like you got the magpies in your house.
Is it good in here?
I had surgery this morning, and I have a steroid headache.
A what headache?
Ooh.
A steroid headache.
Oh, you had surgery to wait.
Yeah, on my back. So they pumped me full of steroids in my lower back to try to help alleviate the pain I've had since over a year ago. And I have the worst headache right now.
Oh.
Yeah. So so Luke got to get
not helping. I'm guessing.
Yeah, Luke is not helping.
No. And now we're looking at his
I gotta give him a hard time. Come on, Luke.
Either we're looking at his
my voice.
Or in
My
Australia,
voice
they
sounds
put
terrible
fans on the wall like that. Do you guys put up with this every week?
Usually. No, I'm just kidding.
No, we do not. He does wind me up all the time, though, Frank.
What?
I said, Brian's been winding me up, though. I think that's why I'm actually on this. Yeah, I think that's the reason why I'm on the podcast is because he wants to pick on me in live, and everyone enjoys it, so can't complain, right?
No. That's all right. I'm going to do it to you too, buddy.
Let's be honest. Like, you only pick on
I'll
the
be on
people you
Team
love,
Luke. I'll stick up for you, Luke. I won't let you go down like that.
Oh my God.
Luke, you only pick on the people you love, man. You don't pick on people you don't like. BBS.
That's true.
That's
why
a
we
subtle
put on
hint, and I don't
Discord so
appreciate
much.
it.
That's why we all pick on Disco so much. It's because we love him. You're
not working again now.
Oh, we lost Brian.
How did that happen?
Maybe it was him.
No, it's you.
No,
We're having a nice conversation, and you jumped in, and throwing feedback around everywhere.
it's together, bro. I remember the haircut.
You sure you guys want to be on here? I was just going to be in the audience and watch. All right,
now.
Brian, you look like a mannequin. Maybe you froze.
Yep, he's frozen.
Yeah, frozen.
Either that or he's playing that game, where everybody just stops and stands real still. He's really good at it.
Now you know, when I post it on air, this is what we're doing.
Okay.
We're trying to figure things out. And then you're like, hey, what's going on? I'm like, I wish I could tell you, but...
Man, I cannot wait to see some of these episodes.
I think they're good, but I don't know. We'll see.
The first one was fantastic. I watched it twice. Actually, you know what? I'm going to turn the air down because I am hot.
First one, I don't even know what that one was like because we just got on and we were like, hey, we're just going to have a conversation.
It was great. BS, I laughed and smiled through the whole thing with you guys. And maybe, like I said, maybe I'm just biased because, it's you guys and everything you're talking about. I know little jokes like that's going on. Like I know, so just all of it just made me laugh and smile. And so one day eventually maybe everybody will get it, but maybe not. I don't know. But all I know is that I loved it, and everybody in the Fluffle that's going to watch it is going to get it and love it.
Yeah,
and we did watch it with the. It was like me, Dave, Aaron. I think Aaron came in late. It was me, Dave, Miss Firefly, Disco, Krista, and we were just in staff, and we were watching it, and it was just everybody just loved it and smiled and just excited.
Love that, and everybody that comes on is just like they're so genuine and it's so authentic, and it's just great. Like there's no like planned anything, so you'll hear some guests that'll say, "Oh, they really hit us with this question," and sometimes like I don't know, it's just that fun of it. Like we want to hear what it means to you, and we want to hear that come from your heart, and so that's why we kind of do that in a way. But they're not like terribly crazy questions.
No, I know. I love it, man. And honestly, I know there's a quiz, but Brian said I don't get quizzed today.
Oh, okay.
He said I don't have to take the test. It's probably. I was like, well, I was ready for the test. I know all the answers. Think. Yeah. You're cutting in and out. You're freezing in and out.
It's okay. Hey, did you put the wire to your computer this time?
Nah, because I'm not on the computer, so now I'm on my phone.
Oh, I got you. Okay.
Up code that we were flying out somewhere else, so that way they didn't bother it. And I left my laptop, and now I can't. It just showed. Just to be honest, but then I tried to get a webcam for the setup. I checked. Just got a new setup.
Oh, there you go. How come it's not set up?
Well, it is, but I just don't have a webcam yet.
How come you're not using it? How come you're not using it?
There's no webcam.
How come you don't have a webcam?
I don't have a webcam.
Oh, so my interview wasn't important.
I went to
webcam and hang out with me. All right, no, it's fun, Odell. I see how it is. It's fun. No worries. I won't take it personal.
Welcome back, Brian.
You wait till I see you next week. He's literally so excited to come to Richmond. He's going to be the first one there. He's coming in at like 8 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Brian,
Welcome
how you
back,
doing?
Brian.
Can't hear you.
What? Am I just like looking up? I have you guys on my top screen here. Let me move this so I don't look like I'm looking.
You guys hear me okay now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good.
Yes.
Perfect now.
Sweet. Sorry, I didn't even have the podcast mic on, so you guys are hearing me through the camera. and I realized I had like 4,000 tabs open, and I think that's what like just crashed.
I always do
StreamYard.
that. Yeah.
I was like, oh no! So it's my fault because it's fantasy football season, and I have lost my damn mind when it comes to fantasy football. Like I'm playing in like leagues. I'm like I blame John for this and Aaron for posting this thing about rainmakers. And I had a whole bunch of money sitting in DFS doing nothing.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is totally my jam. You buy NFTs of people and you can play them forever. You know, like, so all you got to do is build lineups. So
I tell you, Aaron has been turning me into a degenerate gambler since I met him. And he just keeps trying over and over. He's like, try this. Oh, we should bet this. Just jump in DraftKings. It's free. Just pick a line. Just do this. Do you want to play slots? You want to do... I'm telling you. And I was like, dude, I don't gamble. And somehow now we just keep throwing money into gambling with him.
I know. I have like over $500 in Rainmakers at this point. And I'm like, I wasn't playing Rainmakers 2 days ago or 3 days ago, whenever, right before Sunday. And now I'm like, how do I win at Rainmakers?
You keep hanging out with him, he's going to get you hooked, man. He's trying to win this some kind of thing called a Millie Maker or some. I know nothing about sports. I'll just tell you now. Nothing about the fantasy football and all that stuff. But I listen to Aaron a lot because I hang out with him, and he just keeps talking about this Millie Maker that he's been after for years, and he's going to win the $1 million. He's just that's like his.
He's the one that's going to do it, though.
I was a degenerate DFS gambler like Aaron, and I won't say online how much I was spending, but it was obscene. Every weekend, I was submitting 500 lineups at a time.
My goodness.
500 lineups at a time, and I would just break even because I'd spread my risk across. Did I lose you guys again?
No, I hear you, but you froze.
It was quick, but yeah, it's fine. So we'll do is
I'm
we'll
gonna
just
kill more stuff.
We notice that we'll just pause a little bit, and then they can edit it out.
Let's see. Yeah, I'm just gonna kill a bunch of stuff. Well, you guys keep talking, and I'm just gonna kill everything I have.
Yeah, we might just need to keep you away from Aaron because it sounds like the two of you together can be very dangerous, Brian.
If you put me into like poker, I'm not just gonna come in. Oh, congrats on your win, by the way. I saw that.
Thank you, sir. Thank
Oh
you.
yeah, congrats.
I had to take down little Galaban. That was tough.
Yeah, and Krista was like third. Like it was like a good day. It was a good day.
It's a big day for us.
But yeah, like I'm not gonna get involved in poker because I don't want to just casually play poker. Like
I'll tell you, I casually play, and so does Krista. She almost walked out like at that game. And she got to a point where she's like, "I'm over this," because she had lost a lot of chances. Like, look, I don't want to die. I'm done. I'm frustrated. She was walking around while just finishing up the game, and somehow she made a comeback to take third. Krista doesn't really like playing poker. We just play to hang out with everybody. I don't really play poker. I only got into it when Aaron started DPS, and honestly, it's the camaraderie, right? The laughs we have. Even Mike jumps in the voice chat with us. And the laughs and the stuff that goes on, it's just the shenanigans that we really enjoy doing it for. But somehow, while doing it, you can actually learn a bit or enough to play some pretty decent games. And that's kind of what I've been doing is like learning just enough to sometimes hold my own or sometimes just I'm out early and that's it. But it's really the fun, man, that we have. That's really what it's about. But maybe we shouldn't bring you in because I don't know how the addictive personality. And then you start hanging out with Aaron because he's always in the voice chat with us, and that could just be. Do
you guys think I have an addictive personality? Just knowing me since May.
Maybe a little bit, but so do I, and so I kind of okay, yeah. So I think all of us. I said, like, we need to start like when we hang out in the Discord, it's like an AA meeting for like NFTs anonymous, like Battle, and that's exactly what we're doing. So we're a bunch of addicts hanging out, talking to each other in Discord as addict, like having meetings, and we're not really helping each other. We're just making it worse.
The thing I love is the camaraderie, the friendship, because I don't have a lot of friends online, you will. I guess that's what I'd call it. Like people that I don't know in person that I see online. So I love this. Like that was one of the things that I immediately jumped on was the fact that, like you guys care about each other. Like, so that's a magnet for people that like don't have that, in their online interactions. Like all the DFS stuff that I've done over the years, like when I'd get into chats and stuff, like everybody wants to kill you in those things. Like they hate you. Like if you do well, they hate it. Like they're not happy if you have some good luck or, because that's what it is. All that stuff is luck. So
no, Chris always says it. Your vibe attracts your tribe, and that kind of became like our motto. And I think the truth is too. Remember, I think we were talking before everybody jumped in, and I said the reality was we needed this just as much as everybody else who's here, and sometimes I don't think people know that. This was a huge thing for me and Krista because we needed it in our lives. We were a lot down in Florida. And it got to the point where everybody we knew kind of left, friendships, like everybody disappeared and we were kind of alone down there. And then finding and creating the Battle Bunnies and building this community, it gave us a family. And then we started to realize how many people out there, it really hit us. It was Christmas Eve. And we had already known everybody. I mean, this is the last Christmas Eve. So obviously a lot of us have been friends for a long time, but it was Dave, Aaron, Disco, and I know they weren't doing so well, but they had nobody with them. They were alone on the holidays, and it was just me and Krista home and with the dogs. And so we spent all day and night, Christmas Day, Christmas Eve, and then we were spending all day New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. All of us like that didn't really have families around or didn't have anywhere to go for the holidays, and we just spent holidays together. We ate dinners together, we laughed, we played poker together, and if it wasn't for stuff like that, like we would have just, been alone too in our house, with the dogs. So it was just nice. It felt like we were around family and holidays, and I feel like it gave everybody else the opportunity to feel like they had to be around family, got to be around family for the holidays. And that's when it hit us how special all of this is.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, it's
a few people play a difference. Wait, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Because you say that. What?
Okay, look, breathe. You'll be okay. It's glitching just a little bit, but that's okay.
But I've heard individual people say, different people say how much that actually helped them get through certain things in their life.
Yeah.
Some of the community members that without all of us really, but just to touch on that subject that you said, is to get them through some literal massive milestones in their life that they never thought they would have, and they're struggling with the fact that we have such good relationships with people online. Like it helped a lot of people out of depression, and it's like you needed it, we needed it, like everyone needed a little slice of the stuff going on.
It all makes,
when you hear the stories firsthand.
Yeah. We got a lot of on New Year's Day and like a few days after, we got a lot of like DMs and private DMs and stuff like that, saying some like really personal stuff to us and thanking us and like sharing a lot. And that really, I think, was a huge moment. I mean, one, which I won't mention, like it actually got me really emotional and teary, like reading the letter. But that's when we knew that, you take everything else out of the equation, whatever the house was, that alone makes everything we're doing here super special. I never forget the art, the NFTs, forget all of that. The community itself, just in those moments and realizing that alone is something that people look for and would just be special on its very own. And now you just throw everything else in the mix and everything else that's being built around it, and it makes things. Oh man, and I believe it. Good, start over. This is just going to be an episode with me, right? This is the stupid shit we're going to do for this whole episode. And people are going to be waiting. They're like, what did they do? Did they give Frank these tests? Did they? Oh, they were waiting, and this is it. Us just saying, hey, just doing stupid nonsense.
What are we taking?
This is definitely going off the rails.
That's it. Well, you invite Knarf the Mad. That's what's going to happen. It will go off the rails. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Okay, all right, go ahead. Right. Professional face on.
Did you hear earlier, Luke, that I said that we only rib the people we love? And like, I'm sorry, everybody. Are you freezing or am I freezing? Everybody,
No,
every
he's
time
frozen right now.
I love these boys. These are my boys. Like PBS and Luke are my boys. So like I feel like I can rib them because I'm the elder statesman. You know, like I'm the papa. I'm the old dad. I'm the old dude. You know, and you know, PBS is a little bit behind me, but you know, Luke's the youngin', man. He's like the little brother. He always got a little brother hard time.
He now feeling it. Oh.
Are you referring to his height or his age?
Oh man. I can't wait to stand next to Luke in Richmond next week.
What?
Huh? Can you hear me good now? Breaking up now?
Yeah, you're breaking up.
I would have tried not to get through this laughing my ass off.
Yeah.
I gotta turn the air down. I'm laughing. I'm getting hot. I'm sweating again, man. No, we hear you good, Brian.
Okay, good.
How's my internet now?
Luke, are you going to do the introduction?
Oh yeah,
I got one.
I figured you had an introduction for us. Like,
good man.
Like you've done it. You've probably done it 1,000 times for Frank too. So, so that's great.
I slightly changed it because of his skullduggery behavior.
Very pirate thing to do, isn't it?
Oh man, what the heck?
Well, let's get on with it. Let me see what you got.
Brian's got some. I can't do it until Brian gets another. He's our fearless leader.
Okay.
Yeah, I've got to put you in the green room, Frank. So here's how it goes.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So what happens is I will put you in the green room for a minute, and Luke will do this magnificent introduction. And when he introduces you to the stage, that's when we'll begin the conversation. What did he just do? I need to watch.
I have no idea.
It went a lot better. It went a lot better.
He's doing the magnificent introduction. He's going to have like a spin and a flip and, you know, all that stuff. But since this is just episode 1 of the, you know, the LaNatra sequence or the LaNatra series, like I figured what we should probably do is like start at the beginning. Like this would be like a good like baseline conversation. Like go back and like just story tell, you know, because there's going to be a ton of people in the community like me who weren't here 20 months ago, like, or not really, more beyond 20 months ago. Like some of the things we were talking about earlier about just like, you know, how you got into this and stuff like that. So, so I say we keep it, you know, kind of tightly to the beginning stories. And then the next time we bring you out, you know, we can talk about roadmap and try to pull alpha out of you. Or, I mean, maybe we do some of that here too.
Brett, whatever you want, man, whatever question you guys ask me, I'll answer. But when you said we go and start at the beginning, all that I could think of was the Goonies and Chunk. And, you know, like when he's like, okay, and in kindergarten, and then I threw up on my, and he goes to that whole thing, and that's, I'm thinking, how far back do you want to go, buddy?
Well, we might just have to put a Chunk, meme in here now. Like, now that you said that, it's like a little video meme.
Like Chunk when I was a kid growing up.
Oh, man. Dude, I love the nostalgia that you put into the art stuff. Like the fact that I have a pillow of the goon, or you know, this guy.
Yep, the goon. Sloth.
Goon. I love the fact that because I watched that movie. Like we're the same age. Like that was a big deal.
Yeah.
Love.
Good movie.
It's all of that stuff is is I guess what made me, right? Is what inspired me, is what I grew up with, is what molded my childhood and my loves. And I mean, I'm a geek. I grew up a geek. Like that was it. I also grew up a very heavy kid. So I went through that a lot of that phase was finding other friends who were into stuff like Dungeons and Dragons, like finding that group that accepted you, and they were the nerds and geeks, right? It was never the cool kids. And so a lot of this is kind of what molded everything, getting into all of that. And kind of, you look back years ago and you don't understand it when you're, 10, 11, 12, 13, like through those years of, but now you look back and you say, I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for those experiences, everything I went through, and you kind of grow to appreciate it. And stuff like that. But yeah, nostalgia is what it's all about. That's what the Battle Bunnies is for me too, man. It's like Saturday morning cartoons. I grew up with the Smurfs and the Gummy Bears and all of that stuff as a kid, and I looked forward to it. And you don't see that anymore.
Oh, you do. You do. You just have to be looking for it.
Yeah.
I'll show you one thing before we go into this. The Smurfs. This is that game that I play every single day. It's the Smurfs Village.
Oh, okay. Is that on mobile? Wow. I'm guessing.
Yeah, this is all mobile. Like these are the Space Smurfs, and they're harvesting. It's like a Farmville. It's a Farmville for Smurfs.
What is happening?
And it has. I'm a child, guys. I'm a child. They have like all these other like things. Like you have Smurfette, Papa Smurf wandering around this village.
That is awesome.
I haven't spent a lot of real world dollars with this thing, but I've played it for over 11 years, almost daily.
Wow.
Oh, damn.
Wow.
Okay.
Awesome. I have, if somebody were to go out and buy like the berries and the coins and all the stuff that I've earned in this Smurf game that I started out playing with my little kids, because I wanted something to play with my little kids who are now 22, 18, like they were playing with me when they were 8 years old and younger, like the Smurfs game, and they just stopped and I just kept playing because I'm a completionist.
It's that addictive personality, man. I get it.
Yeah. Like if you went out to buy all this stuff, it'd probably be 10 grand in berries and all these other things, because I played it for like, basically I'm earning like $1,000 a year, but I can't sell it. It's stuck in the game. It's unlike an NFT where all the value is stuck in this game. And if I just go away, it's gone.
Yeah.
So I don't go away. Like I'm thinking one day I sell my login to some super Smurf, like somebody that's like even a bigger Smurf fan than me. And they pay me like $10,000 for my login because I've done all the work.
I know we're recording, but this won't be the thing, but I don't want to admit it.
No, because it was all entertainment. You enjoyed it. Like you could have spent it on DFS or or gambling at Vegas over the 3-year period or something like that. Instead, you enjoyed your cohorts getting together and jumping on Discord and talking about that stuff. So I don't ever think those things are a bad investment.
Right.
If you got enjoyment out of it. Like,
yeah, and you think about it, right? You're paying for, it's an experience, right? It's just like any other experience. Some people get experiences from vacations, get experience for going out for the night or whatever. And those were all experience, spending time with all these people, having fun, playing games, and you were kind of paying for your experience. So yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. And Luke's gone. You drove him away.
A TCG hero package experience, right?
Yeah.
I cannot wait.
I'm going to spend a lot of money.
Well, because this is going to probably air a lot later, and everything will not be seen before Richmond, I can always go run and sneak some stuff in.
Ooh. That would be some alpha that we would probably love to.
But I was asking the Richmond surprise, if you're gonna. Well, you're coming, right, Brian?
Yeah. I'm.
Okay.
The plan is for me to come over for Friday and Saturday, and then head back Saturday night. Like I won't stick around for Sunday, probably.
Okay. And BBS, you're not going to be there?
No, I was this close and just I couldn't swing it.
Okay, that's all right. So maybe
things happening.
I'll give you tell me what kind of sneak peeks you want, because they'll get to see it. Well, you guys will see it tonight anyway, but I don't want to ruin it for when you open it either, because it really is a like goosebump moment. So you tell me, and maybe I'll sneak whatever you do want to see or don't want to see beforehand and surprise you.
Sounds good.
But we're going to take you guys to Richmond with us anyway. We're going to stream through Discord and all of that stuff. So I feel at least you guys will be able to be part of everything.
Yeah, we're going to try to do some recordings. Luke and I will try to figure that out and do some recordings of people that we can use for the Ultimate Fancast. And we'll bring BBS in like this. We'll just do it through a mobile setup. Like he'll be like the two of us will be live on camera and BBS will be like in the video. Like, so I can so I got to figure that out this next week. To how to like do the setup and stuff, but I have all the like mobile podcasting equipment. I got wireless mics and stuff like that. So, and cameras, we can do this. I've done similar things and I've paid people to do them. So I've seen it happen, even if I don't know how to do it. Like, but I'll have that all worked out before we get there. So we can do some, we can do some stuff with BBS so that it feels like we're, all together on the Fancast.
Awesome.
That kind of, so.
Awesome. Appreciate that.
Teamwork.
Yeah. We just got to figure out when you can do it. Like, I'm going to have to get your schedule from us for Friday and Saturday. So, we can get that all figured out, but we need to jump in. We've already spent 30 minutes of your time, or at least that's how long it's been recording. So
I'm good, Brian. I'm here to hang out with you guys until you get tired of me.
We hung out for 2.5 hours with Aaron. So.
Aaron sometimes
1 minute.
I was going to say he puts me to sleep, but it's not hanging out with him. But literally, I hang out with Aaron so long to the point there's been times where I'm like, I got him on the phone and we're in Discord talking and all of that stuff, or we're on the phone just, And then there was one night I was like, I got to bed already. I brought everything into the bedroom. I'm laying in the bed and he's still talking. I was just kept nodding out on him and then waking back up and I'm like, oh, and I would just say, oh, yeah. And then he realized, he's like, you falling asleep on me. I'm like, yeah. He's like, oh, yeah. He goes, because he just knew by my answers. Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
Did you finally just good talking? Did you finally just say good talk, Aaron?
He said it to me because I passed out on him over and over. But that's the kind of conversations we have. There's multiple times that I've went late into the night and he keeps me up way past my bedtime. And then,
He's a good guy.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. We've gotten really close, man. Well, I'm going to go test out that ice cream maker he sent us for the first time.
Awesome. I know I have to get mine. I tried to order it and they said it was going to take 3 weeks for the one that I wanted. And so I was like, all right, I'll just wait. But now there's one that's in a store that's local that they just got them in. So.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we got ours as a little housewarming gift from him. And but he sent it off Amazon. He was trying to do it at a Best Buy. We have no idea where there's Best Buy down here because everything like we're in the middle of the country. So eventually just sent it from Amazon. We got it and we finally made our little bases in the tubs and froze them, put them in last night. So tonight is the first time we're going to get to try it.
Oh, wow. That's great.
Very cool.
I'm excited.
Love that homemade ice cream.
Yeah, it's going to be my first time trying, but everybody knows when I my nightly thing is having ice cream. And even during poker, if we're playing poker and I say, oh, I'm going to go have my ice cream, everybody knows I'm going to start just going all in. And it's like either I'm winning or I'm getting out because I don't give a shit anymore. I have ice cream waiting for me.
I already had ice cream. I'm an ice cream fanatic too. Like, told my wife she needs to stop buying ice cream. She's like, I got 3 kinds. Why do you keep doing that?
That's my thing, man. I'll make it's like a ritual, man, the way I prepare my bowl. And when I say bowl, like I got a bowl. That's what I have, a giant bowl of ice cream. I read every night. And sometimes depending on the flavor, I layer my shit, right? Because you got different flavors and then you want different toppings and then you layer it. And I'll sit in bed and I put the TV on. This is what I do before I go to bed, and then I pass out right after my ice cream. I'm out.
That hurts my brain health heart, but I know why you do it because I do it too. Like sugar right before bed. Like everybody needs like a calorie curfew and sugar curfew to help like long-term brain health, but we're not going to talk about that here because I love it that you enjoy it. But it would be so much better for you if you started eating your ice cream at like 4 or 5 o'clock.
No, but that's not the ritual.
I know it's not the ritual, but I don't want to see you get Alzheimer's like my dad.
Oh, it's sugar. Yeah, that's my ice cream at night. Well, now it's going to be healthy ice cream. Is it the sugar?
It's the sugar.
Mhm.
Yeah, the sugar causes
Some
inflammation.
sugar-free ice cream is really good.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the sugar. I mean, the calories not so much, but like, not to jump off on like some side tangent about brain health, but like our brains like do all the cleaning, organizing at night, and that's why it's good to have a consistent bedtime and to get those restorative hours of sleep, not just total hours of sleep. And if your body is processing a whole bunch of sugar, that's why they call it diabetes on the brain sometimes when they're talking about brain health, is because the sugar causes inflammation that the brain, instead of cleaning and storing, now has to deal with that inflammation that's being caused at night. And I'm guilty of it too. Like I drink a beer that has lots of carbs in it. And I drink more than one sometimes. And just like it's not one time, it's doing it like every single day. And a lot of people do that here in the US. I don't know about Australia, Luke, but those types of rituals of like eating late and putting a whole bunch of sugar are one of like 39 different risk factors that can lead to long-term brain health. So yeah, it's just it's something that people don't know about. So my whole thing's about raising awareness to help people understand.
Big with us, right? Aren't you?
Yeah. I got to figure out the dates and stuff like that. But those are the kind of things that you may not be happy to hear, but at least I want you to know. Like, I want you to know the risk because it's not one thing. That's the thing that with Alzheimer's and dementia and all these other incurable diseases, is it's not doing that one thing. Like if you did everything else in your healthy, you controlled all those other risk factors like toxins and being social and challenging your brain and all this other stuff. If you do all those other things, maybe the ice cream habit isn't going to be the thing. It won't give you Alzheimer's. It's a combination of all these things working against you that people do, and they just don't realize when they combine those things, they increase their risk and once you get down that path, it's hard to reverse it. So but yeah, no, I'm not telling you to stop eating your ice cream. I'm just
no, it's good. It's okay. But I'll tell you what, the base, like the ice cream bases we made, had no sugar, right? So it was Greek yogurt. It's not like regular, right? Because now we can make our own. So it's like Greek yogurt, oat milk. I put cassava in it, chocolate cassava powder, which is Aaron got me the cassava kick, and then I put some peanut butter in it but it's like the organic peanut butter.
So it's the sugar-free kind or the kind that's low sugar, like peanut butter. Like it's a nut butter.
Peanuts. It's
peanut
butter, but it's with the oil in it, and there's no sugar, and it's literally.
That's perfect. Yeah. Because those other peanut butters that all the big manufacturers give us are loaded with sugar, and we don't know it, but it tastes better.
Yeah. But these are great because, it's Costco's Kirkland's organic peanut butter. And it's just peanuts and sea salt, I think.
Yep. Those are the only two ingredients. That's the way to go. You're doing it right. That's awesome.
And if I want a sweetener, you could. Well, technically, if you did want a sweetener,
stevia.
That's what I put. Stevia powders. And they say sometimes
natural stevia is great replacement. Yeah.
Well, honestly, it's really just the flavor. It's the eating the frozen treat at night. It's not so much the sweetness of the ice cream, because I'm really stuck on one flavor, and I eat mint chocolate chip and I put peanut butter in mint chocolate chip. Which most people think is insane, but it's the most amazing combination. I love peanut butter and mint chocolate chip ice cream.
I made a smoothie today that tastes like ice cream. It's blueberries, nut butter, and like I use like walnuts and almond milk and bananas. So blueberries, bananas, peanut butter, and nuts, and then a vanilla protein powder. And you mix all that stuff together, and it's like a chocolate banana blueberry ice cream. And it's my favorite thing in the whole world. Like, it's a shake. And
have you tried cachava?
No, I haven't tried cachava.
Okay, so it's a superfood. But they got chocolate, vanilla. They got different flavors. We get the chocolate and vanilla sent to us, but Aaron got us one. But it's literally, it's not just the protein powder, but it's got the protein in it. But it's got all the different superfoods in it. And I got to send you a code. Krista has the code for it. But oh my God, it's amazing. And because it gets so thick, like when you put in a NutriBullet with some like almond milk or oat milk or whatever you do to make your shake out, it gets so thick it feels like this awesomely thick milkshake you're drinking, and it's delicious.
Yeah, I like the oat milk too. I know I'm not supposed to drink almond milk because of the water crisis in California, and that's where most of the almonds are manufactured.
Oh, really?
So yeah, I know that the other types of milks are better, but I just love the taste of vanilla almond milk.
Yeah, that's what we usually get from Costco. But it's the one that comes in the case. But check out the cachava, because it's all like these superfoods in a big bag of, but it actually doesn't taste nasty. The chocolate and the vanilla are really good. So it's not like just a straight up protein like whey powder, but it does have tons of proteins and all of it. It's like K-A apostrophe chava, C-H-A-V-A.
CHAVA. Yeah, if you got like a link where you can get some affiliate benefits, send it over to me. I'll check that out.
Chris to do it, because Aaron sent it to us, and then we've been getting it now, and it's just awesome. It's like a meal replacement, but it's a superfood replacement. It's freaking delicious.
Nice. Yeah, the whole world of, so we need to start this.
I know, because
you're going to the green room.
I think I've taken notes about the pre-show than I have more notes about a pre-show than I should have.
I feel like it's like, put them in the bathroom.
I got more notes about it.
Put him in the green room. Get it in the green room. Luke's like, I gotta get to work, man. Do you have a hard cutoff, Luke?
No.
Okay.
Already shifts today. They keep on ringing. Oh, can you cover? Nope, sorry, today's important. Can you cover? Nope, sorry.
That was a close one.
That's right.
Exactly.
All right, let me see this intro you got prepared.
All right, you're going to the green room. We'll bring you back. All right, see you later. You can still hear us. You're just in the green room.
It's not real pre-prepared, but it's going to be. It's still going to be cool.